Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another race in the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Tournament. We've got a matchup from Group A between number 1 seeded Neatorific and number 4 seeded Olenananas. I think I got the right amount of Don in there. My co-commentator for the night is Ovik Jam, and our tracker for the evening is Iker. What are you looking forward to about this race, Ovik?
Well, hello, Eleanor, and thanks so much for that introduction. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to see these two competitors have a great time tonight. I know Neatorific is really proficient at SM, and have not seen him in A Link to the Past, so we'll take a look at how both of them play in both of these comboed games.
For anyone who might just be tuning in and having no idea what they're about to watch, this is a mashup of Super Metroid and A Link to the Past, the two Super Nintendo entries for those two franchises. The games are combined together where there's 4 portals that take you between Super Metroid and A Link to the Past, and then the items from all the games are mixed up and put all over the place, so you can find things like the hook shot in Lower Norfair, and you can find missiles in Eastern Palace.
It is great fun, and we do have this tournament going on. It is the largest SMZ3, as we call it, a tournament that we have ever had. I think there was something around 90 entrants, and here are these two entrants going off to the race.
I believe 94 is the total. And I want to give a big shout out to the sponsor for our tournament, Rank 1. Rank 1 is given a cash sponsorship for this tournament, so the top 4, I believe, will be getting a cash prize, which that's super exciting. You can see both of our runners taking the portal to Link to the Past in criteria and checking what's on the floating island, which is Super Missile.
Not too sure what's going on with the audio. I'm going to be looking into that.
We have some power bombs in the back of the sanctuary. I missed what was in Link's house. ₹20 from the tree pole. That's, you're not going to say no to that amount of money, but it's not the most useful thing to get from a tree pole. You much would prefer bombs. Ole is doing the hula hand trick, so if you go through that door up there and then come down and jump in the water 4 times, and then jump in that bush that he's going to open up here in a second, you can get 225 rupees. It's a very common thing to do in the combo randomizer because money is much harder to find. More power bombs in Link's house. So that's 2 sets of power bombs. That's 2 is way better than 1. You of course need the morph ball to use those in Super Metroid, but with 10 power bombs, you don't have to worry about soft locking yourself too much. Neatorific. Oh wow, getting 8 bombs from the bush crab.
Always nice to see that. Early game bomb routing can be very tricky. That's why you'll see a lot of runners do the hula hand trick. It simply lets them afford a bomb purchase from either the shop in Kakariko or the one near Lake Hylia are 2 very common options. If you ever find yourself stuck in Kakariko hoping that you pull bombs, that's the time when you're not going to pull bombs. Oh, those are morph ball bombs.
That was the morph ball bombs on the lumberjack ledge, which could be required, but probably. You would need a pretty specific chain of logic events to require the morph ball bombs. Olay trying to get some bombs from the 50-50 bushes and does unfortunately not get any. Meanwhile, we find a pack of supers in the thieves' hideout. More bombs from the tree pole. And I completely blanked on what was on the not the library. Yeah, the library. Olay checking the back of the tavern and finds just a heart piece. Neatorific going through Blind's hut.
Coincidentally, when the bush crab does flippers, okay, good. But yeah, when bush crab has 8 bombs, that's when you find nothing but bombs in Kakariko. It's just how the game works.
It's like when you get the ice rod, Toro Rock clearly abandoned.
Oh yes, of course.
So that puts us up to 15 power bombs, which is really kind of the optimal amount. More than 15 doesn't make a big difference in quality of life, but 15 is a good number. And we can see Olay buying bombs, which, you know, it's not that it's only 50 rupees.
Yeah, if you already have at least 1 bomb, you can also use the bombable hut in the lower left-hand corner, but buying bombs, nothing wrong with that.
More bombs!
Nothing but bombs. It happens every time.
I would say it's pretty unusual to be 5 minutes into a seed and have nothing on the tracker lit up.
Yeah, this is very, very dry, which makes me just curious where everything is.
We got a boomerang. I was like, it's something to show up. Oh wait, those aren't on the tracker anymore.
Alright, we're going to try and fix some of these audio issues, so bear with me while we're on a quick black screen.
And it looks like Neatorific is doing something very exciting here. He's gonna get the thing that's in the thing. Wow. Did you guys see that? That was amazing. Yeah, we'll get the stream back as soon as possible. You're not actually missing anything. It's a black screen for everybody.
Should be coming back up momentarily. Apologize for the issues on the restreams. Alright, where to now? Now that we're back. I think we're going to go see Mini Moldorm. Well, getting ahead of myself, we're going to see the swamp first.
So with those flippers, Olay is farming up to 500 rupees so that he can get Zora when he goes up there. It's not a bad plan.
That's true, yeah.
Nito finding a bottle in the dam. Finding a bottle right after you have done your Kakariko checks never feels great.
No, it doesn't. And it's another one of those things that seems to happen a lot. The other thing that's happening now in this new version, we are playing V11 of the SMZ3 randomizer now, is that all bottles are empty when you find them. Used to be that you could pick up a good bee Brinstar if you wanted to. Well, if the randomizer would let you, but not anymore. And as part of that change, the ferry also always fills it with green goo now, which is a little different from ALTTPR if you're more familiar with that side of things. SMZ3 does do a couple of little things a little differently.
And we're about to get a check on the Desert Ledge, which is just an E-tank. Probably won't see anybody pick that up. Oh, neatorific ticking a death. Ooh, that's a rough place.
Yeah, he's missing Agana, which is one of those places that's kind of out of the way. You don't want.
I
pretty good sync right here.
Well, very good sync. I'm not surprised seeing neatorific head back for Agana. I feel like if you're gonna make that check and you die on the way to it, that's just more incentive to go check it, because you would really hate to be like, oh, I'm gonna check it, and then I died, and then I missed out on more.
It is definitely one of those checks that can bite you. I have seen some really nasty things there.
Yeah, I feel like Moon Portal is here far more than it should. I'm with Silverane in chat. I kind of miss having the bottles that gave random stuff, because you could get some good use out of a bee sometime.
Yeah, actually it is super useful for mini Moldorm specifically, and also I'm pretty sure that you could damage Mothula level. That one's less useful. Alright. Olenananas has 9 bombs to get through this cave. Let's see how he does.
I feel like the first one in the middle is the one that's usually the worst. That was
Perfect.
very well done.
Oh no, and then he gets the 300 rupees and the mirror.
And 300 more.
All of that rupee farming. Well, it seems like all of the time that Ole spent getting all those rupees, neatorific spent going to Agana for 5-pack of missiles, so they're actually still pretty neck
and dying, yeah. I mean, it's far too early to say somebody has a lead, but Ole has a lead.
It's definitely possible that the game is directing someone to go to, or directing both our runners to go straight to Zora as soon as they can.
Of course, just like the Link to the Past randomizer, Zora money is not factored into the logic at all, so finding that 600 rupees doesn't point towards Zora. It's just that's where the money happened to roll.
That is true. The money doesn't really mean anything, but those flippers do. So let's get those early checks as all the way over to Hobo. I like that check. More missiles.
I feel like he could sell those missiles from the future for some rupees to get out from under the bridge.
That's true, although neither of our runners are really in any dire financial straits right now. Oh, I see what you're saying, but the Hobo might be. Well, thankfully the Hobo is just our name for him. He's just chilling.
I really like the route neatorific's taken. I think it's gained him some time, but I think that was really neat to flip her up to Hobo and take care of Hobo and then swim over to Ice Palace. Or Ice.
Flip her over to Zora.
Yeah, well, right. Well, here we are at the Hobo. Now he's in Ice Rod Cave, and then he's gonna go to Zora. Where Ole did Ice Rod Cave, Hobo, then Zora.
I'm not sure which is faster, only because I don't usually have flippers at this point.
We got
Bugnet
a
and
bug
Bombos.
Bombos. Neither of those are progression. So it's looking better and better that Zora's gonna have something.
What do you think? I'm thinking it's going to be something lame, like, let's say, high jump boots. Those
I'm gonna go ahead and call progression Super Metroid. I bet Zora's got nothing.
You think we're going to see it in Retro Brinstar?
Yep.
So Nito right there is just showing us about how it's always green goo. Hopefully he knew that green goo is useful. So, a mushroom, most expensive mushroom you'll ever buy.
I'm not. Well, I guess with the save and quit without the power glove, he had to save it. Well, I guess he could have. No, he could have swam. I think jumping in the water would have been.
I think you're right. I think jumping in the water would have been quicker, but my muscle memory would have had me saving and quitting right out of that too. Maybe if the Zora ledge item wasn't a capacity upgrade.
Sure. Interesting that Ole's gonna check out the eastern area before turning in that.
Yeah, I would just turn in that mushroom, but that's, I mean, it's only one check, and it's not necessarily progression as much as we all want it to.
And in the back of Shashral's closet, we have super missiles, more money, and an arrow capacity up.
Alright, so where do you go from here? You've got Eastern, and you've got those two awful checks in Retro Brit. Yeah, I think the mushroom is the right play, but our runners are basically following each other.
Ole making good use of that boomerang so that he doesn't get hit by that, I don't know, those Armos?
Those are almost, yeah. Actually, wait a moment. I'd have to look them up. I'm sure someone knows. Oh yeah, front of escape as well. Yes.
Our tracker keeping us honest.
Yes, thank you all, or thank you very much, Iker, for tracking. We haven't seen a map check yet, but it sounds like Eastern's a pendant.
Also gonna point out that Ole is showing off one of the new features of version 11, in that he is using one of the custom sprites for Link. He's playing as Zero Suit Samus. That's one of the new things you can do in the new beta version. Or I guess it's not really a beta version; it's just version 11. You can also play as a custom sprite for Samus in Super Metroid.
Yeah, and they're working to put in more of both sprites for both games as we speak. I know Total is on the proverbial phone. First item is just some super missiles. Question is a weapon logically required? I'm actually pretty sure that you do have to have can kill many enemies to get through escape, which bombs don't count for, but I'll get back.
I would just assume that it is because in standard mode, 10 bombs is a valid. But yeah, I don't actually know the answer to that for definitively one way or the other. And if you want to play a guessing game in chat, how many frames will Ole end with?
Oh goodness, a lot. Or my favorite answer to that question, more than he started with.
Ole doing the dark rooms here in Eastern. Not in logic since we don't have a lamp, but these are pretty easy dark rooms to do. And welcome to SpeedGaming 3. You're getting just the opening moments here of this race between neatorific and olenananas. However many nouns. That's a lot of nouns. In the Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Tournament. I'm L1 Lamb, and I'm here with Ovic Jam.
Hello and welcome. We are really only just in the very first starts of this race with both of our runners, olenananas a little bit ahead of neatorific. Ah, there he goes. That's a big ol' nothing.
It was neat. Ole showed off that the boomerang does actually do damage, and he killed one of those. I think those are Staphos. With the. And neatorific looks like he saved and quit and did not mean to go to the sanctuary.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him hard reset to Metroid now.
I bet he turns the mushroom in.
Oh, good point.
I think you gotta turn that mushroom in.
You do, because you haven't had anything else yet.
And now's a good time too, because you can
No.
fake powder. But it looks like they're both gonna go to the front of us.
So I did double check the logic. In front of escape is open with bombs, just like Kachiri said in chat. So yeah, it is logically available. And neither of them checked Uncle yet, right? No.
Yes.
No, they did. It was nothing. Never mind.
So would you refer to the whole thing as Hyrule Dungeon, or is the back part the sewer?
Well, I can tell you that the logic log that's up on samus.link/logic says that it's Hyrule Castle. And then it calls the sewers sewers. We did get a lamp in there, which immediately puts the sewers into logic, so that's good. This is feeling a little bit like a old-fashioned standard seed. Two very valid ways to get those bombs on those soldiers. Okay, this is interesting. Alright, so Nito is going to go ahead and take that lamp directly into the sewer.
I'm not sure I like this play personally. I mean, I guess we'll see if it works out. It's a pretty big brain. But I feel like you're already down so close to Zelda's cell, and you've got the mirror. Don't even have to death warp.
It is a gamble, for sure. But so far, just a shield.
I'll do my part to try to call this Hyrule Dungeon. Kuchiri, if you can remember to refer to Golden Chorizo as Big...
Wait, Big Four?
No, Big Bird.
Big Bird?
Because he's a big, tall, yellow bird.
Yeah, okay.
I gotta give credit to Miss Metroid for that one, but I love it.
Yeah, it's a good point in chat, though, is that there are more items back there, and there was nothing in the dungeon, so...
Oh no, Ole, that madman, is using, like, double heart speed.
He's using the fast beep, which is... a choice. I kind of missed what was in Dark Cross.
I didn't see what was in Dark Cross.
So we'll get a replay up here. Okay, Tracker saw it was a 5-arrow upgrade, which is... So, they reduced the amount of capacity upgrades that there were. I feel like there was nothing. Nothing in Escape.
Escape was a complete waste of time.
So it's Mushroom or Blue Brinstar.
I'm still going with Blue Brinstar. I bet Mushroom's gonna be like a missile pack or heart piece.
Yeah, Mushroom's gonna troll, but you gotta check it out. But Nito now is getting taunted by the by the Hyrule Castle dungeon. So
Yeah, that's why I don't like that play to
it was
skip.
a gamble. And if it worked out, it would have been, I would say, pretty big brain because it is logical progression.
Sure, no, I can get behind it if it works. And I mean, obviously we have a better, we can see both sides up here. Ole has gone ahead and hard reset to Super Metroid, so he's going to be checking those blue Bryn drops, which is actually only one item in logic right now in blue Bryn. So this is another. It's either going to be a big galaxy brain play, or it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of time down the tubes.
Well, it's either this or mushroom because there's nothing else. I don't think Ole never checked Aghanim, so that might be on the back of his mind too. Oh, he missed the moonfall. Wait. Did Nito just skip out of the basement chest?
It was the map.
He knows it's the map. Good point.
So. Oh, we also have a bottle turn in, I want to say, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We've got the sick kid. All right, here we go. So what do we have? We have nothing. All right, so it looks like Ole is going to go ahead and check the other check, which is not in logic, but you can. All right, so sick kid is nothing, nada, zilch. Heart container. That's not worth keeping. Yeah, he's gonna reset.
So what are we missing?
It's in the mushroom.
It's on the mushroom. Yes, of course.
Badger. But Nito is. Oh, yep. This is a rarely seen whirlpool.
So do you think it's going to be Morph Ball or something else?
It's going to be something else, like gloves or something stupid. I say gloves are stupid because I can't actually think of anything that they logically unlock.
Death Mountain? It's the Morph Ball.
Alright.
So with that Morph Ball, that unlocks a lot of Super Metroid. So I would expect to see a reset to Super Metroid here from neatorific.
And we will very soon see one from Ole as well. So we have flips now. Now Nito is ever so slightly ahead, but these seeds are long. We already have a wonderful demonstration of just how much SMZ3 V11 control.
Oh man, Nito going straight for the gauntlet. This is going to be dicey.
Gets those first tries. So this is definitely not in logic, not in normal. Not with their current equipment set. I believe there is an E-tank requirement for gauntlet.
There is. I want to say it's 4, but don't quote me on that.
You can see that Nito was in the acid for approximately a half a second, and he lost almost half his health, and that is why there is an E-tank requirement. However, he does have some reserves, so... And there's another one.
Kujiri letting us know it's 300 health, so...
Interestingly enough, that first one, according to this logic document, is... I'll have to read this little... Yeah, it says it's 1 energy reserve.
Checking out the back. Oh, wow. Gee.
That is loaded.
That's about as... That's about as stacked a back of gauntlet as you can possibly get.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and that is a very tricky wall jump. We're gonna see if Ole knows this, especially since we know that can fly is one of the things, space jump or morph ball bombs, but bombs are on Aghanim, so okay, he's gonna try. Good. So the way you do this trick is you have to do a delayed frame. He got it.
Wow, man, he made it look easy too.
It's not.
No, it's very hard.
You have to hit your A button on those very close to the last frame possible to do those 2 jumps if you're doing it frame perfectly. But this just means our runners are once again in lock.
And for anyone who might just be listening, that was the hammer and space jump in the back of.
Do we know if they have 1 or 2 reserves?
I believe just 1.
Okay, so according to this logic document, that E-tank is logical access to the back of Gauntlet, so they are in logic. Oh no, they're not, because they have no logical way to get up here. Ah, goodness. Where could it possibly be then?
It could be those morph ball bombs.
Well, we'll find out, because we've got all of Brinstar to go.
Neatorific making the green Brinstar checks. It didn't look like there was anything at early super. Neatorific gonna respawn these little guys here to farm up some power bomb.
Yeah, doing these checks with only 5 power bombs is one of the worst things. 15's pretty comfortable. Ole's gonna be very happy. Yep. So once again, they keeping it pretty tight.
Yeah, normally I feel like in these races, it's a question of how behind do you feel. I kind of feel like as a runner, finding that in that location, you feel ahead. Just some missiles in the Etacoons area, a nice mock ball to get out of.
That's very pretty. There's a lot of little things you can do in Super Metroid that will slightly increase or slightly decrease your time in rooms. It adds up. I don't know what Nito is doing.
Just farming a power bomb.
That's fair.
I'm not sure that was worth the door transition time, but
it sucks to soft lock.
Oh,
and it's
definitely
easy to do, so it's definitely quicker than a soft lock.
Sure, I just feel like 14 power bombs is probably, more money! Gotta be very careful with these side hoppers, they will kill you really quick.
Yeah, you can see he took 1 hit, and even more money. So we're gonna see 2 fun checks here. We've got the Spore Spawn skip. Beautifully done.
Yes, if you tuned in specifically to see Spore Spawn, I'm sorry, but you will almost certainly not be seeing him.
Not even sure I remember what Spore Spawn looks like. Quake. So we've got 2 of our 3 medallions.
What's a Spore Spawn? Exactly.
Spore Spawn is a boss that is rumored to exist in Brinstar somewhere. Most SM runners I know have never seen it. It's one of the greatest mysteries of our time. Alright, and the other skip is the Wavegate skip.
Which this room is really scary to come into with only 1 energy.
He
Well
managed
done.
to do that without getting hit, and I'm jealous. First
And
try.
first try. Wow.
Yeah. Just by looking at this, I can tell that Nito is very well skilled in the Super Metroid side of things. So I'm curious to see how they both hold up in Link to the Past as well. I mean, I've already seen some pretty good routing skill. Yeah, as Kuchiri is saying, Nito is, I believe, top 10 in SRL rankings. Ole unfortunately had to use a reserve tank, got caught by one of those frogs. I think 90% of the enemies in SM are frogs. Welcome, SpeedGaming. If you are just tuning in, this is Super Metroid Link to the Past Combo Randomizer Tournament. We have our top seed, neatorific, against our number 4 quartile seed, olenananas, on Group A. It's the first match in Group A. The winner of this will face the winner of the match tomorrow, which I think is Error versus Kuchiri. Yep. Yes.
And I believe that's at 2 o'clock tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, I think is what was. Ooh,
Oh,
speed
no.
booster.
We want that. So that's our logical access to Gauntlet. So now we're back in logic.
Oh, olenananas. Ooh, getting really dicey on the health.
He's alive. Alive is better than not.
And neatorific, they're demonstrating the damage boost to get the item in the sky there.
We've got some knowledge from Rick in chat. Olenananas has done some ALTTP stuff, so.
Neatorific doing a very short charge to get up to Billy Mays.
Yes, speed is not Canfly. Was answered in chat. I see. Okay.
Nothing in Billy Mays. So do not order today. With that speed booster, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised to see neatorific. Well, I guess he does have enough energy to Shine Spark the.
I personally would not want to take on Fantoon with one energy tank and power suit, but it is something you could, because you can spark across the moat and then you can just jump over everything else.
Yeah, or you could choose to go back down Red Tower.
I think a more reasonable option, especially since they have Lamp, would be to go down Red Tower, head over to Norfair, get the Ice Rod apparently in Mother Brain.
And that's going to confirm Pendant Turtle Rock.
I agree. We haven't had a map check yet though, so. We get to see everyone's least favorite thing is the climb, although looks like Nito is going to go ahead and check the speed booster missiles.
I don't know if he has the energy to make it. Wow.
Oh, that
but
was
he's dead.
One tile.
Oh, he's got space jump. I thought he killed himself there. I was gonna be about to be like, that's a that would have been a gigantic mistake.
He does only have one power bomb though, so now he's got to go back to the ship. And if there's one very annoying thing about Brinstar Powerbomb routing, it's just that none of the enemies really drop power bombs. Even the... Alright, the Madman's just gonna go straight over to Bomb Chorizo. I had to think about that. That's fine. Bomb Chorizo is definitely not going to attack them because the bombs are behind Agony.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's just the statue. It never does anything. It always just sits there. It's not a chorizo.
What, did the Chorizos have to move to be Chorizos?
Yeah, I mean, would you call Spazer a chorizo?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I guess to be fair, there is, I believe, a chorizo randomizer option for Super Metroid Randomizer, which randomizes everything that's on a statue.
Was that the major minor type stuff?
That's a different, similar to that fashion, yes.
Okay.
But there's one specifically just for the statues.
I think Chozo statues is correct.
Chozo. There you go.
With me. Alright, well, what do we have here? So we've got a kind of a useless hammer right now. And we've got a mirror, so Link to the Past is still rather closed. So yeah, I would say do these last few criteria checks and then head down Red Tower. Blue Mail. Blue Mail's
Yeah, I feel like the routing is actually going to work out pretty nice for where that speed booster is. Like, you're not wasting too much time here by going over to Red Tower and then going down Red.
Wow, I have never seen that before on Ole's side. The power bomb killed the side hoppers during the iframe. I figured he was gonna get hit by them again as soon as he came out of the reserve animation.
I'm gonna guess neatorific did not mean to shine spark the ship. Unfortunately, that does mean that he will be unable to escape when the planet explodes. Because he broke his ship. Ooh, that's a red cane and criteria power bombs.
That is a good red cane. Doesn't unlock anything yet, but... Insert joke about it's gotta be cane.
I never understand that reference.
Neither do I. That's why I'm... Ole showing us one of the 3 ways that you can get that. This wall jump is deceptively tricky because if you do it from the left, you're gonna hit the path on the right.
Yeah, getting it started can be a real pain in the butt. I assume he's picked up the speed booster.
I wonder if that energy tank is gonna convince Nito to try Fantoon. I saw a hesitation, and I believe he's at least gonna make some checks over here. That's a reserve.
Yeah, it was just a reserve. Now I definitely feel like he's gonna do Fantasy.
Yeah, that's probably gonna keep him in Super Metroid for a while longer. I wonder if Ole is gonna go over to Link to the Past when he finally gets back to the ship after the criteria dig. Don't die.
I feel like they just haven't really opened up much of anything in A Link to the Past. Like, you can do Dark Death Mountain.
Wait, no,
not Dark Death Mountain, just left side of Death Mountain. You can and Tower.
It's worth a peek. However, you would have to go all the way down Red Tower to do that right now. And you could do Hera. I don't know if... I guess there was a map check because I'm seeing stuff on the tracker. Thank you, Iker. So
wow,
Hera
I
is...
missed that.
It's possible it was during something else. But yeah, you can do Hera, you can do Paradox Cave, you can do Spiral Cave. Let's see, Spec Rock, Old Man, there's 3 there. It's like 8 in Paradox Cave.
That's true. That is a. Yeah, I was not thinking about Paradox Cave, but
yeah, Paradox and Spiral is.
Putting that in does add a lot of checks.
But I mean, at the same token, wreck ship is like 8 too, so
I think if you're confident you can kill Fantoon with no suits and 3 energy tanks, this is a good decision.
certainly if you're a new SM runner, this is expected that you're able to do. And 60 missiles is just overkill. So we had a fast pattern, and now we've got at least a medium. And a slow. I'm not going to say Fantoon is my least favorite SM boss, but curses. Not a bad idea to manually trigger your reserves. If you don't, you can get hit by some things twice as you're filling.
Starting to get a little worried here.
He may try to Crystal Flash. He's using the pause menu for a run buffer. Here's it comes a Crystal Flash. Yeah, I didn't think so. Power Bomb does not destroy those flames, so R.I.P. Samus.
I really hope he saved when he went to the ship.
He did. Okay, so Ole looks like he's going to go back into Link to the Past. No, he's not. He's going to go back down and redo criteria checks. Okay, good. Not that there's anything down here, but... So Ole is discovering why this room is pretty tricky without the ice beam. Okay, good. Now, hopefully what he can do here is he can just check it, see it's nothing, and reset.
I hate this wall jump because it's the same texture. My eyes lose track of what even is happening.
Yeah. But he got through it. So now we're going to see what Ole's going to do. If he's going to go ahead and go over to Fantoon as well with those 2 E-tanks, or if he's going to go down Red Tower. I hope
he's going to get his cane first.
Point. Okay. This is another tricky room. You're supposed to have a lot more stuff than you have. And those spikes are 60 damage without any suits, so... Not a big time loss. Probably a little bit frustrating, though.
Yeah, you hardly lose any time, but like you said, I feel like that definitely starts to put you on a little bit of...
So Nito does not have enough power bombs to Crystal Flash this time, but hopefully that means he won't try. Right, he's gonna try for the Doppler? Yeah. So as Fantoon comes back, there, that beautiful Doppler. Good job. So you do 2, then 2, and then you just tap your missile button at 350 beats per minute, and then you can get a whole bunch of shots in at once. See if you get to the... That was 1, that was 1, that's fine. Okay, so if he does that one more time and finishes off with the super missile, Fantoon will be a ghost no longer. Okay, he shot 3 missiles, which meant Fantoon went right away. One super, and that should do it. Yep, there we go. He is now the ghost of Fantoon Pass.
And Ole's heading over towards Wreck Ship 2 possibly. We'll see if he's... oh no, he overshot the... And that's it for
Yeah.
Ole.
He's just going to check that. And that's good because it means he'll have that second energy tank for, well, Spiky Room of Death.
And he's going to head down to Red Tower. There's a lot of checks he can do down here.
This is what I was hoping for. So we'll get to see if Wreck Ship is a bust or not. And Ole was probably going to go check out Link to the Past once he's down Red Tower. He might kill Kraid first, though.
Ah, Varia suit. That's
Wreck
a
Ship
good
is
find.
officially not a bust. Well, that's going to give the routing advantage to Nito because he's not going to have to revisit Norfair. Not much of an advantage of Ice Beam.
Ice Beam, good to find.
If I were Nito, I might I'm sorry, if I were Ole, I might consider the save, but not, that's fine. Pretty close to the ship, and all it was an E-tank. And the cane, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he saved after he got the cane.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
I was a little busy watching Fantoon. Alright, so we got Alpha Power Bomb. Just missiles.
Neatorific saves before heading for the Spiky Room.
Yeah, he's not nervous about anything. He's just going to reset out if it's Spiky Room of Death, or sorry, if Wreck Ship Reserves are nothing. That is the other Spiky Room of Death. There's multiple Spiky Rooms of Death. Yeah, Ole's gonna go ahead and save here.
I think it's a good call. The connector between the two parts of Red Tower can be pretty dead. And just 20 missiles, that'd be a good find. 20 rupees at the Wreck Ship Reserve.
20 missiles, this isn't Z1. Someone can correct me on what this room is actually called that Ole's in, but it is certainly spiky and it certainly has a lot of death.
When I first started playing SMZ3, that was actually my least favorite room in Super Metroid.
It's not fun. I'm not actually sure where Ole is going.
The only thing I can think is he's going to check.
Oh no,
check waterway.
That's true. Yeah, true.
It's not in logic. I don't believe without gravity, but he definitely.
I think it is in logic. Shine sparks are considered in logic. He does have to glitch first try. All right, well.
You were saying? Oh no, the side hopper. He's got to be careful with his health.
Yeah. I think he was going to check he may have not checked this thing up here in Green Hills. I guess he did, so he is going to check Waterway. Well, that's a gamble, but it could pay off.
Just a blue rupee up in the attic of Wreck Ship. I feel like he needs to farm some health before he goes down here.
That's a good point. He may need to farm up some health. Thankfully, these things always drop power bombs, but if you're full on power bombs, they will drop. Spring Ball!
Spring Ball!
I would get that, but there's no real reason to, so I doubt he will.
I would definitely get Spring Ball. There's quite a few places that makes life so much easier.
Missiles in the sky is a piece of wall. I think most runners hate missiles in the sky.
We can see Ole did it's super missiles in the sky today. We can see Ole did run out of energy in a Shine Spark and did not get all the way he needed. So I think he's gonna have to farm up some he's gonna farm up, like you suggested, the little worm guys.
Yep, so after he fills his note, don't take more damage. Alright.
Oh, he's gonna Crystal Flash. That's an even better idea.
Oh, so do take more damage. You see? He's smarter than me.
Yeah, I completely forgot that was even an option, but now he's great on energy.
It does give him a dicey power bomb count, but if this is nothing, he could probably reset to spiky room of not. All right, I believe the joke here is that Nito is going to check Twitter, Instagram. I don't remember. Ground sparks are annoying if you don't have the button combinations to press down in your muscle. I've certainly sparked up far too many times. There we go.
Yep, I was actually doing a seed or ooh, a sword. That's definitely worth.
That's worth keeping. So that's a pretty good gamble, I'd say. It's not like make or break, like say Moon Pearl would be. Yeah, sparking in the water is also super annoying.
And neatorific not going for that spring ball.
Didn't think you would. So he's gonna have to use 2 power bombs here, which is gonna put him on a rather dicey power bomb count. Without a good way to refill
He
him.
can get over to X-ray and refill an X-ray.
Good point. I don't think he needs to use any.
Nope, he needs to use one to get into X-ray, but there's a drop right there too. But that would be my recommendation. I mean, that's on the way for wherever he's got.
Alright, so Nito cleared out Wreck Ship with the various suit is the major thing up in Wreck Ship. And then we're gonna see him. We'll see if he goes over to Waterway or not. The fighter sword is not maker. It is possible to find 2 other swords.
X-ray is of course also in logic since they have space jumps. So.
However, it is a pain to do X-ray. Yeah, to do he can't hit spikes again. So if I were him, I would do this. I would leave, farm more power bombs, maybe get into Crystal Flash range.
That's a good idea. I was thinking either that or go down to the energy refill station. I believe that's the Sloater's refill.
It is the Sloater's refill. Hey, Sloater's, why is that the Sloater's refill?
Oh god, thank god he's got reserves. Oh gee.
Yes, but that's the problem with the autofill on the reserves, is that you will very frequently take another hit, and now he can't take another hit. And that's a dicey jump. Alright. 1 more power bomb and he can Crystal Flash. So right now, given the items that our runners have, they're just trying to get through Metroid down into the Lower Norfair transition. Once they're at the Lower Norfair transition, they will likely go check out a lot of the checks they have on Light World Death Mountain.
Yeah, there's a portal in the business center to Death Mountain.
Yep, to Light World Death Mountain. So
having a harder time with the blue gate glitch.
Nito is backing me up and telling this isn't easy, right? Yeah, okay. There you go. Ole made it look like first try every time. I totally spaced on what was an X-ray. Was it worth all that trouble?
Nope.
Didn't think so. That's unfortunate.
Still, it's good. I mean, X-ray is one of those locations that if you orphan it, it can be a real pain to find a decent time to come back.
It is kind of interesting to me to see basically the same routing decisions on both of our runners' sides at this point. The only difference is Ole did not go to Wreck Ship yet. Yeah, Nito is backing us up that Spark is hard, but he does a very short stutter short to that. I can't talk. Stutter short to get his fighter sword.
Ole is going to be checking out this phaser beam location. Just some missiles. So until you find charge beam, you're never really upset at finding missiles, but it's definitely not what you want to.
Yeah, generally the runners will want to get as much ammo as they can, just in case charge beams in a really dumb location.
Ole is going to go on to Crade here. Unlike Fantoon, Crade is much less dangerous with the powers.
So I did see Ole freeze there and think about where that one power bomb is going to be used. Thankfully, he can just use it right here for this check. And now he does not need any other power bombs. He might be considering that. Okay, good. Hey, look at that! That's a serendipitous power bomb tank.
He's probably gonna get bailed out by power bombs anyways, and there. Uh-oh. Neatorific is living dangerously.
Yeah, he's gonna not hit any.
Everybody send your energy to Nito, because one mistake here and he's dead.
I mean, literally. Let's just, yeah. Well, no, he's got Varia, so he can survive one hit now.
Oh,
he's good.
Good point.
Why were you worried?
Easy.
No problem.
100% of the time, every time.
Alright, let's see if Ole gets the quick kill. Nope, missed it. That's okay. He got one super. Actually, it looks like he was doing the double tap trick, which probably has a nicer name than.
For anyone who watched my race yesterday, I did the I got the slow quick kill, which is where you mess up and shoot all your missiles into his hand, and then kill him on the next amount. But I laughed at that.
Still quicker than the DLC version. He's only got one super, and unfortunately, Crate is more than one super away from death, although maybe not in that. Well, he's just going to use normal missiles anyways. I expect we're also going to see a Crate kill from Nito. Let's see if it's worth it. It is not really worth it, no.
Nito showing off by going through the middle super missile.
A few fun damage boosts you can do in that room leading up to Crate. We get to see at least one of them. Curious if Nito goes for this. He does. Okay, good. Yeah, you do want as many power bombs as you can possibly grab when you don't have morph ball bombs, and since we all know that morph ball bombs is at the lumberjack behind Aghanim, I don't think we're going to see morph ball bombs here.
I mean, logically, I think that Aga is still hanging on by the lightest of threats.
Logically, Aga could still be required for Dark World access, yes. But we now have Master Sword, and actually that also helps with our... Oh no. Because we have Lamp, we have Master Sword, so... Aga's open.
Could be the crazy situation where the Moon Pearl, and then we see a quick kill from Neatorific.
Beautiful quick kill, nice.
That Moon Pearl could be on the pyramid.
Any number of nasty things could be hiding there. I mean, to force Aga, it would probably have to be Moon Pearl at this point.
Interesting that Ole is saving before he does the high jump boots checks. I guess so that he can just reset out.
Possibly that, or he might be a little nervous about soft locking in there, which is technically possible. Probably not with 12 power. Oh gosh. Oh no. Okay, well, that's a problem. So we've got Moon Pearl at Croc Escape, which means Speed Booster and Varia are logically required. I mean, Ole does not have the E-Tanks to bypass that logical requirement. So he's gonna have to do Fantoon.
Oh wow, and there's a tempered sword.
We just apparently lost all of the swords in Planet Zebus. Oh well.
Apparently, yeah, Uncle must have come here on his way to the castle.
Just dropping swords everywhere. Yeah, if you do miss that Nova, then that's a perfectly reasonable way to kill it.
So our runners are pretty set now on swords. I mean, if you find butter, you'll take it, but you're not going to go out of your way. The change from tempered to butter is pretty minor, even as somebody who sucks.
Okay, so we're gonna see Ole move out to Death Mountain in the game Link to the Past. Yes, the other game. This is a combo randomizer. I know the past half hour or so may have not convinced you of that.
Just $50 at Crumble Tower.
Just an example of how long it's been since I've been in Link to the Past. You'll see that Ole actually doesn't have an item selected because he didn't have an item to select when he last was here. Although that's not technically true. It's probably just because he had the mushroom.
I think that is actually, yeah, he used the mushroom and then saved and quit in soft reset. Old man just with a piece of love. Not much of a tip for saving him from the cave. Would you really want a piece of an old man's heart? I feel like that's just sounds like a lawsuit waiting out.
I mean, just a piece? Alright, both our runners are tempered now. We'll see if Nito goes to check out Croc Escape and sees that the Moon Pearl is there. Once he does, he's probably going to go right back into Ice Beam Tower. Or not, Ice Beam Pathway. What's that called?
Ice Beam Pathway sounds good to me.
There it is, the Moon Pearl. Nothing really on Death Mountain so far, but we've only had a couple of checks.
I mean, it is worth pointing out that the Moon Pearl right now doesn't unlock anything because we still need a glove for Dark World X.
Well, it does mean that you can actually get something worthwhile out of Aghanim.
That's true. It does look like he's taken the alternate way to Croc, which involves going through this blue gate.
Is lower Norfair in logic? Space no, not without gravity.
Yeah, you can definitely need gravity. Or flute. If we had the flute and mitts, would it also give you lower Norfair access?
That's true. It's not the lower not the lower Norfair access you want though.
Ole climbing up here. So far, he has found nothing of.
Saw him considering that bomb jump. It's tricky without the boots. Don't blame him for taking it safe. Nito is not going to steal Croc's life savings, which is good. Oh man, so both items in Hera. One's on Moldorm and one is on the tile room cutscene. Well, past it anyways.
Everyone loves the basement.
We have a good question in chat, which is, does Solsky just lurk in every stream? And the answer to that is yes. There was a heart in the back of Hera.
Who's
Did I miss
Solsky?
Oh.
Uh-oh, Ole's got turbo orb. You don't expect to see that with the tempers.
Yeah, he poked Moldorm, and that happens if you poke him.
Whew, that was dicey. So I believe that's still a item in the basement.
So hour and 9 minutes, and we have our first crystal. That is SMZ3 in a nutshell.
Oh, we're gonna skip whatever's in the basement.
No. Iker corrected me. There was a heart in the back of Hera, so that chest where the map is usually.
Yeah, and then there wasn't another item, was there?
Oh, there might not have been. I was too busy looking at something else. Well,
I could be wrong.
Well, they do have a lamp for fire source, so they totally could. I would say that this spiral cave. Well, so he's seen Moon Pearl, so he has to be looking for Varia. There's a book up here.
That's an interesting place to find literacy.
So Iker is correcting me. There is an item in the basement, and who knows what it's going to be. It wouldn't surprise me after Ole does not find Varia up here. Oh, he finds Grapple. He's probably going to go back for that item in Hera, because again, we know Varia is close. As they're pointing out in chat that yeah, we used a different kind of speed booster in a different game to get the book. Kind of coincidental.
Ole checking out Paradox Cave. The bottom
Gloves.
has gloves.
Well, that's not a problem yet, because we need Ole to go to wreck ship at some point.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get siphoned into wreck ship pretty quickly.
Gloves on their own don't really do much. I mean, he could. Doesn't really do anything. Another E-tank, two E-tank.
It opens back of escape for him, which I don't believe he checked. I know he did Dark Cross, but I think he saved and quit out of Dark Cross.
So he's saving and quitting now. I don't know if that's to... He's gonna go back to Lower Norfair.
Upper Norfair.
He's gonna go back to Upper Norfair. Norfair.
You don't want to go to you don't want to go to Lower Norfair without Various. You don't last very long.
We were talking about Lower Norfair. Okay. He's got 4 heat tanks. I'm curious if he does know the hell runs. All right, he's gonna go for it. I would agree with Rick in chat that neatorific's choice to go to wreck ship has given him a significant lead. It is really dependent on how long it takes to go to wreck ship and beat up Fantoon.
Yeah, I can understand doing these hell runs. Hopefully they don't take too long. Cause yeah, I think the longer that Varia suit's out there, the more behind Ole is gonna get. Do you know the answer to Slitter's question? What the suit tank logic is for wreck ship?
Kind of. So there doesn't appear to be a tank requirement to kill Fantoon, unless I'm reading this wrong. Looks like 3 energy reserves.
Yikes! 55 energy going into this heated room.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got a reserve, and he's also resetting. Yeah, it looks like that you have to have 3 energy reserves to get past Spiky Room of Death. But other than that,
Just missiles from the Ether tablet. Neatorific gonna dip into Harrow. We'll see if he does the basement. And Ole is heading over to Wreck Ship, so that's excellent.
yeah, with those E-tanks, he might have a slightly easier time. He's about to pick up a 5th E-tank too.
And we apparently had a dark world map check at some point. As we can see, Total Rack is in fact dependent.
You called it. You called it.
Our
Early
other
Ice
pen-
Rod.
Our other pendant is Pod, right now 5-6 are on Skull Woods and Ice Palace.
Don't think that's how the bomb jump is done, but that is a tricky bomb jump. You gotta get it pretty close if you don't have boots.
And that fall really hurts. That takes you all the way back to the beginning. For those who are in the frame guessing game, we are about to hit, I believe, 300,000 frames on Ole's.
Yeah, and still he only has gone 1 second.
I think this guy might have the new world record.
If only it worked that way.
That is a lot of frames per second. So we'll see if Nito can avoid enraging Mulder.
Yeah, Azzer in chat, you are correct. If I'm reading this logic correctly, it is very much an either-or state, so that it's either you have the energy reserves to pass through the spikes like bowling spikes, or you have an item. And that means that one day, one very unfortunate day, we could see a zero-tank Fantoon forced.
That would be a forfeit for me.
That would be a forfeit from me too.
So we'll see if Nito goes back in to get that item in the basement, or if he's going to skip it. He is going back.
Max percent GT is an awesome category that more people need to run. That's my opinion. Just not me. I couldn't.
The leg making us sweat again by dipping into his reserve.
Alright, so he's got to play this a little bit safe.
Let's
If
set
there,
up
if there even is such a thing with Fantoon.
one more super should do it. Oh dear.
He's got to open his eyes first. Oh, ooh, he did it!
He got it. Whew.
Alright, that's enough heart attacks.
Nice job, Ole. That was really tense. And here we have the basement item for Nito coming up here.
And it is nothing. That's a big ol' nothing.
Did you hide Ole's timer of 1 second, or did he get rid?
I didn't do that. Someone else did that.
I was gonna say, I noticed after we mentioned it, it disappeared.
Technically, I probably should have didn't it, but I didn't, so someone else did. So Ole used a power bomb there, probably forgetting he's got a Nova up here. It's one of those things that makes wreck ship power bomb counting usage kind of dicey for me, anyways.
Oh, we didn't drop that one far enough to the right. That said, that these green guys always drop power bombs, so if you need to, it's not too hard to get more.
That is true, as long as you don't soft lock yourself anywhere else.
And I see the SpeedGaming bot has just given the runner links to the runner streams. Please do follow them. They're doing a great job. This is a pretty exciting race so far. Lots of interesting things happening.
We have a various suit.
Please take the time to follow neatorific and olenananas. It doesn't cost you anything. Neatorific picking up his gloves, so he's got full Dark World access now.
Seeing a lot of discussion about zero tank lava dives, and I just want that to stop. Not because I don't want to see it or anything, just because enough heart attacks. So we're going to see Ole do a similar check. He's probably going to see those rupees up there and then immediately reset. Nito, though, is going to head over to... I am drawing a blank as to what he would be going for over.
I think he's going to go Village Outcasts.
Right. Hammer. We got that so long ago back in Gauntlet. My goodness.
Yeah, the seed has been pretty specific about what game it wants you to be working on. There hasn't been a lot of opportunity for, oh, I could do Zelda or I could do Metroid.
He's gonna check pedal. He's gonna check pedal slow. All right, man of the people here. Let's go see. Let's go see what our dreams are. Personally, I think it's gonna be 20 rupees.
Missile from the future.
You were right. You win. Some sort of flying bomb means a 5-pack of regular missiles. Ole is showing us just how many shots those atomics take. Ah, Ole did a nice clip there. So we did see that Skull is a crystal. It looks like it's one of the red crystals, meaning that once you have both red crystals, which in this one are Skull Woods and Ice Palace, you can do the Pyramid Fairy. I'm pretty sure that so V11 of this is not using the V. What are we on? 32 of ALTTPR?
Yeah, so this is guaranteed.
This is guaranteed to be a key.
Yeah.
It also means that you can take that drop down into Skull Woods, whereas if you're doing ALTTPR, you probably don't do that. We said it before, a lot of people treat that Skull Woods check as an overworld check. And it looks like Nito is doing that. We're gonna see what's behind Hookshot Cave. Cape Cave.
Just some sticks.
Vampire skewers.
Would be more useful in the Super Metroid Link to the Past, Super Castlevania Randomizer.
Now you're just dreaming. So Ole is going to pick up that reserve tank, and it's not a bad plan if you're not as confident with the Super Metroid bosses. As much energy as you can get. So he's going to need one more power bomb. Potentially, he could do it with just the one power bomb that he's got to go check that one item over behind or underneath bowling spikes, but 2 would definitely be nice. So I would expect to see him probably grab another power bomb here. How would you rando Super Castlevania 4, Eleanor, since you did bring it up?
I feel like stage order would really be about the best you could do.
Door shuffle, yeah.
Door shuffle, that would be it. Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if we're going into just like games that don't exist, let's just do Symphony of the Night. Crossed over.
I never actually have. That's one game that I just never got in. I've watched. I mean, I've seen it at GDQ and stuff. So I mean, so I've seen a few. I've seen it played quite a bit, but for whatever reason, when it came out, I didn't get it.
So it looks like Oleg did get a couple of power bombs, but he wants a little bit more energy. So since at this point a death would cost him a lot of time, I don't blame him for that.
Yeah, I also expect he's gonna go for that spring ball.
I don't know why, I was just thinking, could you do a Simon's Quest randomizer? Cross that over with something.
Is that Castlevania 2?
Yeah. I wasn't asking if there was one, I was wondering if you could cross it over. There's a rando for everything at this point. That's not a bad thing, by the way.
We do have Nito going through Thieves Town. Has not found anything of note as of.
Yeah, he's gonna do a full clear, so we'll see. And he's got the hammer, so. No Oregon Trail randomizer, but I mean, every time you ford one of those rivers, it's just like checking pendant.
Isn't Oregon Trail the original randomizer? When I feel like, you know, whether you survive fording the river or not is totally random in that game.
Just buy the ferry. Oregon Trail has a couple of places where you can decide to go one way or another, and it probably affects. So over on Ole's side, you can actually only have to use one power bomb here if you put it all the way to the right, which he's going. I'm sorry, you still have to use 2, but you don't have to use 3. That was a single arrow, and he is apparently going to. He didn't check what's behind Speed Booster up here, so he's going to go ahead and just do breakfast. Whole lot of nothing in Thieves Town. Yeah, get Spring Ball. Okay. You know, it actually could make a difference, maybe, to get Spring Ball if you didn't have Grapple and needed to do Suitless Murder.
Neatorific making blind look easy. Was just about to say he hadn't taken it.
He was very close to unscripted that. I think he actually still got the hits where he's supposed to. Alright, Ole's gonna breathe a sigh of relief because he doesn't have to worry about powerbomb count for a while.
You can tell if you keep blind on script by keeping him at the top. If he goes to the bottom, that means you've gone off.
Aha! Good info. I never get the script right, so he always goes to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what script you're following. If you're following Eleanor Lamb's script, he's in the bottom, he's in the top, he's probably in the bottom 2 or 3 times.
Improvisation is a useful skill. Alright, dig game. We had a whole bunch of items all at once a little while ago, and we've had nothing since then, so the seed better start coughing something up. I mean, more hearts is fine. We're at a lot of hearts right now.
And Ole demonstrating that it's quicker to get to Norfair by going back in the Link to the Past, going up to the mountain, and then going in the Norfair Business Center.
So it looks like Ole is actually going to go ahead and check Bubble Mountain, which we have not seen from Neatorific yet. Hookshot in Cave 45, or South of Grove.
Just some bombs in Cathedral.
I personally would not put bombs in lava, but that's just me.
It does make you question how effective those bombs actually are.
Alright, Lower Bubble Mountain has more money. Unneeded money at this point, since both our runners checked Zora quite a while ago.
For only an hour and a half in, we're really struggling on the Super Metroid beams here. We found ice, and that's it.
That's
There's
a fire rod. The fire rod makes that hype enough. Give it a 5 out of 10. If we're still rating hype caves.
I can get behind that.
Personally, any time you find progression anywhere, that's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Fully checking the Norfair Reserve.
Another heart container. Alright.
The glove was in the bottom of Paradox Cave. And it is in fact Pendant Turtle Rock. Which, once they find the mitts, will be in logic.
Yeah, if it's Pendant Turtle Rock, you find both rods early, because then you just wonder, is there something on Trinex? And they found the cane super early too, so... And both medallions. And the hammer. If it's Go Mode mitts, then it's gonna be in Misery Mire. That's what I say. I've seen that before. I think it was a weekly race, and I believe Maniacal was very happy about it.
Neatorific jumping into Swamp Palace here. He's got the hook shot, he can clear.
Yeah, 6 items in Swamp. Good time to sweep in and see what's... At this point, just looking at our dungeon layout, we do need the bow. Just for mimics, even though we don't necessarily need for Eastern or Palace of Darkness.
That said, in theory, I believe all the mimics are clippable.
Well, the 2 GT mimics, they are clippable, but that is not only out of logic, but I'm pretty sure that trick is not all. Okay. Even in GT? Ooh, that's nasty.
Bow being in GT is a very real possibility. Was that Pegasus? That Ole just found?
I'm gonna leave that to our tracker since I was watching Nito. I'm gonna say that yes, that was indeed Pegasus.
Yep,
boots.
those were Pegasus boots.
That is a very convenient big key location. So Nito did skip this section of Upper North. Oh, and God.
So that's Gravity Suit in the big chest of Swamp Palace, and Nito is for now skipping left.
I would.
And the Pegasus boots were at the Wave Beam location.
We are staggeringly close to Go Mode. The only thing that could absolutely screw them over is if Meyer or Turtle Rock, not Turtle Rock, but if Meyer is Heath. I know, Go Mode at 1 second would be a dream.
I see the timer's back. We're still a ways from Super Metroid Go Mode, which is unusual because I feel that's generally the easier Go Mode to get, but we need to find either charge or we need to find a whole lot more ammo.
Yeah, if we had charge, that would put things a lot easier for Super Metroid, but I'm pretty sure that version 11 has removed the charge beam logical requirement from Ridley and Dragon, so it's not necessarily anywhere convenient.
And Neatorific showing us how easy Argus is with the Tempered Sword. Yes, Orange. The charge beam requirement was removed from and I believe Mother Brain.
It was removed from Ridley and Dragon. I don't know about Mother Brain. Flute. Well.
Wow.
Swamp is the gift that kept on giving. Well, this is very fortunate for Neatorific. Very fortunate indeed. Ole is gonna have some trouble catching up. Hopefully he does make a Swamp play as soon as he finds a hook shot in K40.
I mean, he does have the boots, which will gain him time as the longer Neatorific doesn't do Wave Beam, and he may not do Wave Beam until after Ridley at this point. Those boots may not be required, so you may not be stuck looking for them. Getting a Bombo's Talisman check here. Just a little piece of love. I forget what the ammo count is to do Mother Brain chargeless. It's a lot.
I don't think Zebetite skip is in logic either, so it's even higher. Alright, so we're gonna see Nito probably head back to Skullwoods, clear that out. Or he's gonna activate the flute first. Actually, he's gonna activate the flute, and then who knows what he's gonna do.
Well, I don't think the flute actually unlocks anything for him at the moment. I mean, it's
he doesn't
possible.
have mitts.
Yeah, it's possible he could flute over and do like pod, but I don't think he would do pod before Skullwoods.
So the minimum is 40-60. I'm assuming that's 40 missiles, 60 supers.
That's true. Kuchuri pointing out he could do Deserty as the book. I'm not sure what he's doing on Death Mountain. Going to North
He's gonna go to the other part of Upper Norfair, or maybe he's gonna follow gravity into Meridian,
or he could do Lower.
he could do Lower Norfair. Man, there's so many options.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Super Metroid.
That's one of the things about Super Metroid, because the logic requirements are a little less strict than Link to the Past. As soon as you get one item, it might blow your entire seed wide open, and at that point, you have to make a decision.
Interesting that he's skipping the Bubble Mountain checks completely, it looks.
Well, if you're going based off of spheres, it makes sense, because those were all available as soon as he got Varia, and that means that they were available a while ago. I agree with Kuchiri. I think he wants to see Meyer. Meyer Shed just opened up once he got the gravity suit and swamp. So logically, that puts all of Lower Norfair and Meyer. Alright, we have Nito getting his Moon Pearl. I'm sorry, Ole getting his Moon Pearl. So he's saving here, probably gonna double check Golden Chorizo.
You mean Big Bird?
Sure. I would expect he's gonna go right here, yep.
Yeah, if you're comfortable doing the gate glitch in the zipper room or whatever, I like this decision. The odds that the space jump item is an item worth keeping is pretty slim.
Alright, that's not so bad. That was like 4th try green gate glitch. Did Ole never check the back of Escape? Apparently not. There is nothing in Escapes. Unfortunate. That's a bow.
And that's a bow. Wow.
So the bow's not in GT. But that does mean that Pod and Eastern are both now fully in logic.
So just 50 rupees at the front of...
Yeah, not worth it. He's gonna come back, he's gonna grab the bow, and he might take it into Misery Mire, because that also means that Vitreous is a lot easier.
Yep, no reason to kill Big Bird.
Silvers in the Bonk Rocks. So that's interesting. I doubt that Nito is going to go back to Upper Norfair unless things go horrendously wrong and he has to check there on his way back from Ridley. So I don't think Nito is going to get silvers, so he's gonna have to do it silverless. Silverless tempered, not too bad.
Where were silvers?
Silvers were in Bonk Rocks, which means that they're locked behind boots in Upper Norfair. Or, as Orange is pointing out, a Boots Lock Desert would do that. Or Boots Lock GT.
Yeah, or GG. Yeah, boots are still a big question mark on whether they're required or not.
Mitts are also... I think Mitts, at this point, Mitts is our big question. Nope, Ether's our big question. Alright.
So that's one more item we definitely need to find.
Oh, we hit 400,000. So let's do some quick math, right? So this game runs at 60 frames per second. And if a match is 3.5 hours long, let's say,
I guessed, my guess is somewhere around
756,000.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It was 750,000.
But he was already at like 25,000 when the race started. Alright, so there's our Dark World check for Ole. He's going to write that all down and plot out his route. Probably curse that Turtle Rock is, of course, pendant. And now we, as commentators, are going to speculate as to what could be in Turtle Rock.
We're going to get the desert check here.
Can't be Mitts, so...
Desert is not boots locked.
A heart container, I believe, was on Desert Ledge. That was checked a very long time ago.
I think it was an energy tank, actually, but don't quote
me. Same thing.
Same thing,
right?
same thing. Yeah, same thing. Zufnito gets shot in the back by the B-mouse, saved by the chest.
I'm not sure if he's got enough hearts to survive that, though.
You know, those B-mouse are awfully dangerous. So he's gonna bet that Landmo has the second item and do the back first. This is something I see more people doing these days.
If you're right, saves time, and every second you can save. Landmo has no item. We have seen both.
We've seen both?
That's right. There's a bomb upgrade on the Tort.
Oh, I missed the other item.
Too. Yeah, that's fine.
Counting to 2 is hard.
Hey, grats, it's Magnetar. Progress.
Hey, 324 is an excellent time. You'll win a lot of races with a time like that. Ha, I like the body beam Samus turns into a little Metroid. Very cute.
Not just any Metroid, a baby Metroid. And he gets the fire quick kill.
Was there a boss even in this room?
Alright, so back to the Mire area, back to Lower Norfair.
Yep, he's got everything he needs to take out Ridley, so there's no reason not to do this now.
Get all the Lower Norfair checks out of the way. If Ether's down there, great. He doesn't have charge though, so 45 supers to take out Ridley.
No, 30. Oh, you mean he has 45? Sorry, yes.
He's gonna farm up to 45 right here, or close enough. That's a nice stutter top. Gonna get to Shine Spark Charge right here and take it right across. I don't actually know this room's name because it goes by so fast.
I call it the Pillar Room. I don't know if that's what it's actually called.
We all know this room. It's the worst room in the game. I like fast pillars because it goes by so fast that you never know what its name is. Neatorific is not playing any games with worst room in the game. Just gonna blast out those stupid gold pirates and head up to Mickey Mouse Missile. That's a
blue cane.
Different colored cane.
Worth taking. It's a good safety to have just in case. And I mean, you're already there. Still looking for some Super Metroid beams. All the swords were scattered around Super Metroid, so the beams must all be in Zelda. Gets past the 3 key hunters quite easily. These guys can be a little bit of a pain.
And Ole had a pretty good blind fight over there too. And that power bomb's a shame. We have wave beam. All right. Well, we were just talking about all those beams. There's one.
It's a big damage increase.
I do agree. V11 does seem stingy with beams. It's fine. Using the echoes to take out the pirates quickly. Very good.
No need to farm any before Ridley, just gonna go straight.
Yeah, farming takes time.
So 30 super missiles will put Ridley back in her place.
Gets that pogo manipulation. Good. I'm not really worried too much. Nito is, as someone mentioned, he's done this a lot. And that's one dead Ridley. So it does look like Ole is following very much in the footsteps of. Did he?
No, he got it. He's
Okay,
got
good.
his headshot.
I was worried there for a sec. He's following very much in progression as Nito it did, which is good because he's going to get his gravity suit. He could pull something out of the left side of Swamp, and if he does, and it's something like Ether, then that could be a huge advantage for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many items were left on left side, if it was 1 or 2.
So the question about Ridley's biology, there's a big problem, which is that Ridley has been killed and rebuilt how many times by Super Metroid? And like infected with Phazon.
Yeah, at this point, Ridley's just held together with Elmer's glue. Ole is heading in the swamp, which makes sense. You're here, why not?
So if he does go left side swamp, and he decides to pull something super useful out of there, Mitz could be in there. Unlikely, but possible. Ether could certainly be in there.
Yeah, Mitz either charge would be an advantage.
So if we're going to start talking about deep cuts of Metroid lore, so did the Biologic Space Labs go retrieve Ridley and then move it to there, and then when the X infested? Boggles the mind.
I mean, I feel like the point brought up in chat that Ridley dies here and then the planet explodes also is a good question for how is there more Ridley in later games.
I don't understand it myself, but it's one of those things that doesn't really need an explanation. Yeah, we didn't see this check earlier, but it's just rupees.
I mean, I mentioned this the other night that in this game, Ceres Station blows up, the baby Metroid dies, and then this planet blows up. That seems like a really strange criteria for a successful operation.
I think the point is that you didn't blow up. That's the important part.
It feels like a participation trophy. Better luck next time, Samus.
I do like how if you die to Mother Brain, it does say, ooh, magic powder. Okay. If you die to Mother Brain, it still says, save the baby larva. Or find it. And I was like, I did.
Which makes me wonder if you die during the escape when the planet's blowing up, does it still say find the baby larva?
It still says find the baby Metroid. Oh, Nito had to think about whether or not to grab Spazer. That is an interesting layout for Three Musketeers. It can happen. I've seen it happen. And we are going to get a left side check. So here's where Ole could get a slight, much needed come from behind. Is if there's something useful up in these two chests in swamp left, then I don't know how long it's going to take Nito to make that decision to come back here.
Yeah, we could see Nito do all the pendant dungeons before he comes back.
Maybe that's a little less unlikely because he did already check Ped.
Sure.
And if you weren't here for that, pedestal is nothing. But it looks like he is going to route in his upper Norfair checks with this escape from Norfair, so he is going to get his boots, which means he might get his silvers.
Yeah, with silvers being at Pockmarks, I would think a very strong likelihood that he's going to get.
It's such a quick check.
Yeah, such an easy check.
When did he turn off Ice Beam?
I've just accepted at this point that I'm only seeing 59 of all the 60 frames.
If you're ever going to farm, and you don't have grapple, you would generally turn off Ice Beam, so it's probably way back when. So nothing yet. Here's the big decider. Nah, that's too bad. I was hoping. So nothing in the left side swamp.
So Nito most likely going to head into Meridia after he finishes up his farm. And it seems very likely that he's going to find his Titan Smith somewhere in Meridia.
Yeah, there's not a lot of places in Link to the Past it could possibly be in. Could be in the back of Skull. I don't recall if we saw both items in Skull. Could be in Pendant Pod.
Or Pendant Eastern. We can full clear Eastern. And I think there's still at least one item left in there.
Eastern is the green pendant, so Bo was in Screw Attack.
Screw Attack.
So yeah, there could definitely be something nice and juicy behind green pendant. That was late enough.
I see Catfish in chat. Yeah, we haven't checked Catfish, so there could be something in Catfish.
I would expect that they'd probably check things in higher spheres first.
Yeah, I would think at this point, given what they've checked, Catfish is going to be checked very, very, if ever.
Good point from Rick in chat. Yeah, Ole has not checked Hing's Tomb, and with Mirror, it's possible. He'll probably wrap that in with Graveyard Ledge.
Did Nito check Graveyard Ledge?
No. Or at least I don't recall that he did.
Because I didn't think he did either, but...
So right now for Go mode, we are looking for Ether. Ether is the Meyer medallion, and we are looking for Mitts. This is super late to have Mitts, which is good because Mitts hide or blocks so many things that having it be your last item means that you don't have to make a lot of checks.
Yeah, you're just can't do Ice Palace, can't do Turtle Rock without the myth. Those are just hard locks.
So nothing in Main Street and nothing in Crab Supers. Gonna check out the turtle. Yeah, so Nito does have enough ammo to get through Mother Brain if needed. I mean, Dark Death Mountain includes Turtle Rock and all of its checks, so...
Yeah, myth locking Smith Chain is an excellent point. That's a somewhat annoying check to do that you just don't have to worry.
Alright, we got Ole unlocking the flute. Wouldn't surprise me if he drops to go to do all of the Norfair checks. That's a shovel, you should grab that.
You think it's got anything good behind it, or is it going to be a waste of time?
It's going to be a waste of time. Ole, you don't have mitts. I know it's really weird to be this late in the seed and
He's
not
going
have...
to desert.
Yeah, that's a good play. Nothing in Watering Hole.
I would have considered picking those missiles up. I mean, they're not nearly as valuable as supers, but still missing charge being this late. I'm thinking about, do I have enough ammo for Mother Brain?
100 missiles, 45 supers. Yeah, that should be fine. Tracy was saying that it's uncomfortable, but you know, fine.
More
Alright,
power bombs.
in Aqueduct, we've got another E-Tank. So this is the healthiest seed I think I have seen in a long time. You're going to see the classic strat, save here, and then check both sand pits. If either sand pit has something good, more than likely he will reset back out and then come back after Dragon. That seems to be the prevailing thing, and I do like that a lot. If
Yeah,
there's
I would
something
actually-
good in the sand pits.
I would not be surprised to see him check Shack Tool right here either.
Yeah, that's a nice clean reset point. Alright, nothing in the right sand pit, so let's see if he checks Track Tool.
I think that would be the only reason he wouldn't have reset already.
Plus, who doesn't like Shack Tool?
Everybody. I always wonder, like, when they were making this game, why did they put this room with this weird little robot in it?
I don't know.
Like, I would love to have been a fly on the wall in, like, the design meeting when they were like, okay, we're gonna have this hallway with this weird little robot that has no reason for being.
Nito's deciding to just take a break, which is totally respectable. Very few times you get to take a break.
Meanwhile, Ole is finishing up his clear desert. He's about to take on the land.
Let's see if he gets a good fire kill too. It is tricky to do, so. Alright, let's see if he goes. No, he's gonna go straight to Shack Tool. Or Shack Tool Spring Ball.
I mean, he's gonna reset if it's not. Yeah, so that makes the most sense.
First Landmo went left instead of right. Alright, one cycle. That's not bad.
That was that was a good kill.
Good job.
Dealing with some adversity, adaptation. I think you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, adapt on the fly, improvisation.
And in the objectively worst sandpit, we're about to find out what we have. Cape?
Ooh.
An X-ray?
Yeah. Did he check Bumper Cave? I think he did, and it was nothing.
It was 10 sticks.
That's right, we were talking about the vampire skewers. Here's a good check to get out of the way when you're doing desert. If you didn't do Agana before, just make sure that something hasn't been biting you. But let me tell you, when you make this check at 2 hours and it's something, it feels real bad. So it's pretty good to see that that's just missing.
Yeah, it's one of the rare times you make a check and you're thinking, gosh, I hope this is nothing.
Yeah. That's right, since he already had Burna, Cape does not unlock anything, so he's not going to go back for that.
Yeah, an X-ray is, at this point, just an annoyance more than anything, I would say.
The only boss that you could possibly use that on is if you had Charge and Plasma against Phantoon or Dragon. Or Croc, I guess, but... No, that's not even X-ray, that's just Plasma.
Looked like just some, I think it was a bomb capacity upgrade. No, or maybe just, it was blue.
He didn't get the Happy Spark, that's fine. So I expect that we're gonna see a speed kill from Nito. But he could just as easily do a grapple kill if he doesn't really feel like having to do the 2-tap setter.
I'm going with fry. I think he's gonna fry the shrimp.
Nah, speed kill.
This is actually, for anyone who runs this game and doesn't know, this is a pretty easy speed short charge to set up. There's distinct things on the floor that you can time your button presses with that make it so that even if you're incredibly uncoordinated, you can make it happen.
He's gonna go for the grapple kill. He almost had the quick kill there. Well, the quicker kill. And in just a few moments, we're gonna have crispy fried shrimp. Alright, so it looks like Ole is actually going to do some checks that we have not seen yet. We have not seen the back of Skull yet, so...
I'm sorry, Chad, Rain. I'll try not to underestimate your lack of hand-eye coordination in the future again.
So Ole has not checked Ped yet, so he's going to go ahead and get that out of the way, get that nagging feeling.
So Nito's gonna save so that if plasma is nothing, he can reset out of plasma. That's a good decision, I think.
Yeah, I haven't been checking plasma lately, and that's gonna bite me at some point. This save is a very good one to do. You can head over to plasma. Just gotta make sure.
Well, I know I'm checking plasma now when we race later this week.
Oh right. So while we're talking about that, Eleanor and I do happen to be in the same group, and our race is gonna be next week at some point. So Eleanor. And have fun, of course.
You as well. It's been a blast doing commentary with you.
Oh, thanks. It's been fun. We've had a pretty good seed, and even in the beginning though, when everyone was pretty locked up with each other, we are finally seeing maybe another check, which I'm still holding out hope that Olenananas gets.
Yeah, olenananas needs something pretty big to, I think, make up the gap that Nito's made for him.
Could be a big key. Okay, that's unfortunate, but that's fine. So plasma is nothing. Screw attack.
So screw attack is probably one of the nicest items to get in the game, but when you've killed all of the bosses and all that's left is Mother Brain, not so.
It's not going to save any time, so yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Nito take the Meridia portal and head into Pop.
That's probably exactly what he's going to do. Nope, it's on the big key. Alright, so now I know how to get past those shrimp crab thing.
Apparently, Ole already has both items in Skullwoods according to our excellent tracker, Ikir. Big shoutouts to him. It's hard to sit here and watch and talk about the game. I can't imagine having to track. I would be terrible at it. So I got big props to anyone who can do it and do it as well as Ikir's. Shovel just missiles. some weirdo burying their space missiles in the grove.
I always knew that Skull Kid was up to something. You're not Skull Kid. That's a different game.
Hey, whatever your method is, I care. I mean, that's smart. I would have never thought about using blip.
A few times I've tracked, I have definitely used screenshots, especially for map checks. You can even do that if you're playing, by the way. I don't think that's banned.
Neatorific checking the left side here of pod. We'll find out if pod is bow locked or not. Pod is not bow locked, not that it matters because we have.
Yeah, but you can sometimes find the big key there, and that's no fun. So I do like this play. He can clear out pod, make sure that nothing sneaky is hiding here, and then immediately mirror back and grab the green pendant from me. We are seeing Graveyard Ledge, and we are also going to see King's Tomb.
Yeah, there's 6 items in pod?
I think it's 5.
5?
I do love that clip on the... Not really clips, just the dash manipulation.
More money! And power bombs in King's Tomb.
So where's Ether? More importantly, where are Mitts?
I feel like if I was a betting person, I would be betting on pod having something at this point.
I still like behind green pendant. It seems just trolly enough. Silvers were in behind Bonk Rocks, yeah.
Pod has been given the nickname the Mullet Mansion. I want to stay by Kuchiri. Because it's a business in the front and a party in the back generally. Although this pod is pretty friendly with the items up front. That's our second item.
Yeah, normally you get nothing but keys, keys, keys. We are getting a catfish check from Ole. Ole is making some of these low percent checks, which could pay off, but didn't.
Oh, sorry, okay. Kuchiri said it was not him who came up with the Mullet Man.
Somehow I can imagine Dr. Bob saying that.
Dr. Bob.
So if we find Mitts before we find Ether, that's probably worst case scenario.
That's it. You were saying.
Go ahead.
So
Break out
either
the
on,
Conquerors.
either on Trinex, right?
Well, that's the problem, is that now we have a lot of places. So that's a nice plasma, but it's a little late.
Yeah, plasma without charge is kind of useless.
Half magic. So it is still possible that he's gonna dig out Ether from Green Pendulum. It's possible, and I think he'd be. Yeah, he's not happy about this. We're seeing those sword slashes. I wouldn't be happy about this either. Getting the mitts at this point, you're kind of like, I just want to be in go mode. I'm playing for 2 hours.
Yeah, and do I need to do Toro Rack or not is not a That's not a fun thing to have to think.
And at this point, he's going to do all of Pod. He's probably going to do Eastern. And then if he does have to do Turtle Rock, I mean, at that point,
I think he'd
does
do
it
Ice
matter if
Palace.
it's... Yeah, he'd probably do Ice Palace first, you're right. But at that point, does it matter if it's not a Ped Seed? So on Ole's side, we do see him going down into Lower North Air. That's good. He's going to get the bow, which is going to help set off his, oh gosh, where are mitts question. Nice turtle room.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Turtle Room to me is the worst room in the game for A Link to the Past.
Certainly is in dark mode. If you don't have the lamp and you're trying to do that room, I hope you know exactly what you're doing.
Neatorific making short work of Helmathor's mask.
Don't need to worry much about taking damage when you have that many hearts.
And Blue Mail.
So Ole did not save, so he's gonna go ahead and do Golden Teresa the normal. So he is not going to go to Eastern. That's fine. At this point, you've got Pendant Dungeons. So not Pendant Dungeons. Crystal Dungeons.
But only getting the bad news that there's nothing in Golden Teresa worth.
The worst part about taking on Golden Teresa is just how many super missiles it costs. And you, especially since we don't have charge, he's going to have to farm those back. There's a bow, so that's worth it.
Yep, bow plus silvers is always nice to have. It makes so many Link to the Past bosses trivial.
Alright, and now he's getting the bad news about Ether too.
The way that heart dropped on the 10 arrows made it look like it was a 10 heart on Nito's side. So we'll see if Nito's gonna do Icebreaker.
He didn't. He would have had to have gone right there.
I was just gonna. Sometimes folks hit the switch first, I guess.
You should hit the switch first, you're right, so I'm sorry. But he still didn't.
Icebreaker, of course, one of the new tricks that has recently been allowed by the racing.
So I have been a little curious about that because the Racing Council is dealing with specifically ALTTPR, and this is, as we were discussing earlier, not ALTTPR. So I don't think we've really had a discussion beyond saying that... Nope. Beyond saying that if it's allowed in ALTTPR, then it's probably going to be allowed in SF. There you go. That's right. Agreed. It's a lot easier to have everyone playing by the same rule set, so I'm happy with it. So here, Ole is going to need to farm up a lot of supers because we need the 30 to kill Ridley. And this is the easiest place to farm them. Of course, this room is meant to show you that Screw Attack is really powerful in the base game, or in the vanilla game, but power bombs work.
Yeah, and trading one power bomb for like 5 or 6 super missiles is not a bad trade.
Nice bomb jump. Good job, Nito.
We'll see how far he goes on the super missiles. Looks like he's gonna get at least one more farm.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to run out of super missiles against Ridley. You have to run all the way back down from that save station with the key hunters, and it's just...
Assuming you saved.
True. Alright, he got the shine spark. Did he gonna spark? Yeah, nope, he missed it.
No,
That's
he missed.
unfortunate.
Oh, that feels bad. This room without Screw Attack is not difficult, but it's annoying.
It's annoying, and you do wind up losing a bunch of health. I mean, at how many E-tanks is that? A lot. It's probably not a big deal. And you're wasting a lot of supers in worst room. I would use your regular missiles for that.
Fortunately, there's a pretty easy farm spot, especially with Grapple Beam right by Ridley. Shouldn't be too bad to farm back up if he decides he needs to. Neatorific checking the iced tea room.
Nope.
Then some pop.
It's gotta be in Pendant TR. Just because it's so horrible.
I mean, I'd like to go to bed at a reasonable hour, which that ship has already sailed, but...
I mean, I agreed to do commentary at 11:10.
yeah.
Pretty much every single SMZ3 game in V11 I've found has been 2.5 to 3.5 hours. So
Yeah, 3.5 hours is what I told myself I should expect. I mean, both these runners are making pretty good time in short work of both these games, really. I mean, for 2.5 hours, and they've already got 5 crystals.
yeah, we're pretty close to finishing this seed. Not being in go mode at this point is a little worrying, but we'll be there soon.
Only getting past what I believe are the 3 amigos.
I believe you're correct. And yes, Rick is in a different time zone. Or making another time. Anyways, Ice Palace, big old bust.
I was gonna say, I always assumed that Adriatic Rick wasn't lived in the east coast, or at least maybe central time. So I assume that's a 1-second joke.
Gotta make jokes at 1:38 a.m. Wave beam at power bomb's a shame. We already knew that.
For a minute, I was really excited though. I was like, "Oh, awesome!"
You get a little bit more sleep tonight. No, let me tell you, if you're playing SMZ3, you better not have a very good relationship with. When you're learning, you're gonna be up late. Embrace it.
So Nito's gonna head to Skullwoods here, which is a sensible play. Get the last crystal he can get. Hope that he finds either. We know he won't. And then I would guess he would do Dark Death Mountain. There's quite a few checks up there that he...
Oh, you're right. Because now we have the Mitt, so it could very well be in Hookshot Cave.
And you know, if you have Dark Death Mountain, you're really just praying that there's neither requirement on Turtle Rock.
I'm trying to think of the nastiest place Ether could be. I mean, I would have said it would be Turtle Rock, like on Trinex or something. And we got both rods so early that that's obviously a possibility. Yes, I'm going to agree with Chatteron in chat there. If you're gonna need sleep the following day, like if you're doing something important the next day, don't start a race at 10. But I think most of us are kind of stuck indoors at this point, so... Speaking of that, I do hope that everyone here is staying safe and their families are safe. It is a trying time, which is why we're relaxing with some excellent randomizers. Alright, Mothula fight here. Tempered, blue male, more hearts than I think I've ever seen.
Could not have made that look any easier.
Cherry brings a good point. We now have both red crystals, so Pyramid Fairy is open. Let's take a look at Ole's Ridley fight. He did farm up to full supers. He needs 30 hits. He's got 5. 6. 7 and 8 there. Gets the Pogo manipulation. Gets grabbed. Thinking he's at 13. Needs another. Okay. I have lost count. That's unfortunate.
I didn't even... I gave up from the start.
I'm doing it because I died Ridley on Wednesday, and I must know the secret. He's good. You're good. You're good. You can jog. There you go. And I believe there's 3 bombs in here, so... That's 20 rupees. I mean, whatever.
Even less valuable?
So this is actually really good rooting here from neatorific. He has not done any of these annoying checks. Pyramid Fairy, Pyramid Ledge, Cat, none of that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Catfish as far as I can remember.
We did. Ole has done it. It is nothing. It is missiles. Alright, show me Ether. Nope. Nope.
Wow, no interest in that half magic.
At this point, nah. I mean, he's got more hearts than, like... He's got, like, Breath of the Wild level hearts here.
Yeah, but he doesn't have silvers. So I could, it could be a long Ganon phase.
He has Tempered, though.
Yeah, so it's not the end. It's not. It shouldn't be too bad. Tempered's what, 12 spin?
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to see Super Bunny Cave, and then we're going to see Hookshot Cave. And Nito is going to be crossing his fingers the entire time that Ether is in one of these.
Yeah, that either Ether's in one of these, or Turtle Rock is either.
If Turtle Rock is Ether, that is a huge load off, except that at that point, where is it?
Green Pendant.
Ah, good point. Red mail. All right. Ah, and there it is. That's go
And there
mode.
it is. Some rage
2
slasher.
hours, 33 minutes. And he's gonna go ahead and clear out the rest of this. Might as well. If charge is in here, it'll also be a nice load up. His shoulders. Oh, I've done that before.
Well, we're never gonna know what's in that chest.
Nope. Alright, very quick flute to 6, finish up Meyer, and then I imagine we're going to see TR.
You mean GT? He won't go to TR.
I meant Misery, Meyer, and then GT. Did I say TR? I think
You did. It's like 2 in the morning. It's fine. So we'll hope for early big key so that we don't have to do too much fun.
It would be nice. I'm sure he'd be looking for that.
Getting bullied by the B-mouse.
I'm not really sure if bird toss is a thing outside of an NMG.
I feel like it's very rare that I see a bird toss these days.
Alright, so we know what Nito's gonna do. What is Ole gonna do? He is unfortunately at this point treading over old ground. He's gonna have to go to Meridia, so I'd imagine we'd see a save and then a Dragon kill.
Yeah, I think Meridia is a solid bet for him.
Without Mitts, there's just not a lot left for him to do in Link to the Past. I mean, he's got the bow, and he might take this to Palace of Darkness. Ah, clever. So he's using this to save. And then go back to Crateria. And...
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's doing. Because to get
Take
to
a break.
Meridia, it would have been
a lot faster from where he was. Although, I mean, you got flippers. You could take the Meridia portal.
Ah, neatorific showing off. He got the spooky action glitch.
Yeah, he did flute here, so he did have the Ancilla set up for it. I'm gonna call this a modified NMG strat.
That is some pro slashing going on.
It's exactly how I used to do this boss when I was like 8. It's very, very cathartic to see, actually.
And we don't have the bot for the tournament, but you can go ahead if you would like. There are 22 locations in which the Ganon Tower Big Key can be in. Feel free to guess a number. If you guess correctly, you can say that you won the chat. I appreciate the -3. Don't think that's gonna win, but it could.
I believe that is the location of the big key in all dungeons. Glitched, where you just Samaria juke up there.
I mean, nobody has guessed one, so I suppose if it isn't just one, that would be the closest guess without going up.
These are very low guesses, except for Malacris, who's guessing the last chest, which in most cases is tile room.
Someone guessed -2.
Me personally, I'm always gonna say 7. Usually 7 winds up being firebar room, depending on routing.
Oh, and Oleanus is so he's taken the back door to Meridia through his Link to the Past. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, he just took a little bit of a break, probably refilled at the ship, and then went back into Zelda. Refilling at the ship is not a bad plan.
So looks like Neatorific is likely doing Dark Magician strategies.
Alright, so we got one was the torch that's reserved.
I would expect him to mirror if he doesn't find the key in this room.
More ammo is nice. More ammo is not nice. Alright, here comes the mirror.
So 1 through 5, a bust so far.
We usually call this Hope Room. Alright. That was 6 and 7, so I'm out.
Nito throwing everybody off with his route. I'm personally a big fan of the Dark Magician strategies, but I feel like the community is pretty split on whether it's good or...
I'm pretty sure Hope Chest and then left side is mathematically the best option, but I also generally don't do math during a speed. I feel like there's a rule against that.
I definitely don't recommend doing statistics on Twitch. Ooh, a laser shield, how exciting. Meanwhile, Oli is on his Dragon fight. He's going for the fry. Dragon not playing nice, and Dragon being fried. Neatorific heading into the firebar room. Which I believe that was 13? Oh, I think that was 11, sorry. Nope, 12. It's so late I can't even do simple counting on Twitch. That should be 13. And we get some bombs as Neatorific expresses his displeasure. Coming up in the rando room, named because you only ever see this room in a randomizer.
It is very possible to get extremely lost and somehow wind up in this room. Alright.
I think that was 17.
Yeah. Or 16. Nobody guessed that high anyways, so I think our closest is our tracker, Iker. Good job. You win an unlimited supply of whatever. You win. It's too late for that.
You can write down in your diary that today you won Twitch chat.
Fun fact, Mirror Shield does not protect against those.
Which every time I see that, I think, shouldn't the Mirror Shield protect against that?
Nope. It's too powerful. Nito has enough hearts that he can basically just afford to body his way through all of this. I was gonna say, I think he waited a little long in that case, so he lost the iframes by the end. That's fine. Alright, Nito entering the gauntlet. Different gauntlet than Super Metroid. This gauntlet you see at the end.
Fortunately, there's no acid in this gauntlet, so I feel like that makes this the better. Not a big fan of acid.
Looks like Ole is actually going to keep the screw attack. This is kind of interesting because I believe you need either screw or plasma to get through here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't think he had plasma yet, so kind of lucked out.
You can also speed booster.
Oh gosh, I forget about those terrible options.
Yeah, it's not a good option. Nito having substantially less luck with this land mold.
He never went to Baccarat, so he doesn't have silvers. And the thing is, he did want to keep up some of his magic so that he could do the Samaria trick up here. That's not really.
Ole heading on to check out Shack Tool, which will be just disappointment.
Is it ever disappointing to see Shack? I suppose it is.
I had a seed today that had vanilla spring ball. It's pretty. I was okay with that.
Yeah, I think I saw that. Wait, wasn't that your game?
Was it my game? Look, man.
That was your game because I watched.
It's 2 in the morning. I don't remember anything.
That was yesterday. I like that bonk. That's a favorite bonk of mine. He's checking these chests for charge beam. Charge beam, as we mentioned like 2 hours ago, could totally be in GT. So.
Yeah, sadly, charges, I think at this point, almost certainly locked in Total Rock, which means no one's ever gonna.
We've got one more chest that it could possibly be in. So I see that Ole has not really been using save and quit strats. It's fine. No charge. Okay.
Like the army of mini homosaurs hounding him as he goes up the stairs.
That room can be deceptively difficult.
So this is I think the coolest thing I've heard, so I'm gonna repeat it every race I do. You can actually stand in the ghosts of Agana, and Agina, and they don't do anything. Like you can hit them with the sword and you don't get zapped.
That was a very good Aghanim too.
Yeah, that was very well done. That was a 3 cycle, right?
Yep.
2, 2, 2, 2.
2, 1, 2, 3. I'm guessing one of the other twos didn't count because it's only 6.
Agonometry, I like that.
Ganon talking about slugs. Oh, that's a good place to warp to.
Getting some good doubles on the spins there, already in phase 2.
That's not a good place to warp to. Alright, into phase 3. 4th wax of the Tempered Sword.
We'll get his clue shortly that the Silvers were in the light world.
We did not find him in the light world. That's okay. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that was a frightening hit there.
Oh, too early on that one.
So the key with those fire bats is that if you hit them, it doesn't really matter where they hit you from, it will knock you backwards in whichever direction you're holding. I may have said that wrong. It's super late, so I'm gonna reevaluate. Yes.
Take a mulligan.
They hit you in a weird direction. It has to do with what you're holding. So the best thing to do is to hold nothing at all. If you're gonna get hit by a fire bat, do not. That's the key. If you want to not fall. If you want to fall, go for it. Alright, that's one dead pig. So, everyone, please get your single G's in chat. So the question in chat, is there a reason Nito did not go to Bonk Rocks? He found Ether before he did. That's literally it. Alright, and we have a reset out to Super Metroid. Stop at the ship. Check and see if he needs a refill. Yeah, I would refill. You don't want to farm up that many supers. Ammo-wise, he's looking fine. 135 regular missiles, 55 supers. No problem.
Ole checking the sand pits. Gonna find there's nothing much of value down there.
As recall, the left sand pit has a couple of interesting items. Nothing he's going to want to actually spend the time to get.
Cape and X-ray, if I recall.
Yep. He's gonna get him. Alright. He is not gonna get them. He just didn't see what they were.
We've hit the 650,000 frame mark.
Smooth Metroid drums. This room is a treat if you see someone who can do it perfectly. Oh, that's good. That's very clean. Probably see grouping strats down here. Yep. I feel like Nito might have played this game before.
I'm not too sure about that.
Alright, we haven't found high jump boots, and no high jump boots makes baby skip kinda hard. So I don't know if he's gonna just not go for it, in which case we'll see him just collide into that thing at full force, which he's not doing, so he's gonna go for baby skip. It's not impossible without high jump boots, you certainly can do it. It is a lot trickier though.
Hopefully he remembers to face right.
He did. Frame saved.
So is the baby Metroid sorry that it ate all of Samus's health? Or is it just full?
I don't know, do Metroids have feelings?
That's an excellent question.
I mean, clearly they do, because this one imprinted onto Samus, so yeah. Oh, Ole is gonna check Vanilla Ether spot to see if Ether's there. It would be super nice if it was.
It's not.
It is
Nito showed us it was
not.
missing.
Alright, Zevitite skip. Freeze the Rinko. Spin jump onto the Rinko. Jump through when you have invulnerability. No problem. Not wasting any supers on that Mother Brain one. Good.
Everyone's favorite food boss.
Pretty sure most Super Metroid runners just get really hungry at this point.
Got
So we've
some
got
meatballs.
onion rings, meatball. Oh, we missed a super. That's fine. Hardly into the ketchup beam. And we're good. So she'll start using rainbow beam any second now. Unless I miscount.
Is there any point in going for the stand-up without charge beam? I feel like the answer is no.
Correct. The answer is no. There is absolutely no point. Looks like Ole is making a independent pod play, but I don't recall us finding anything useful here.
Mitts were in pod.
I'm sorry. I recall us finding something extremely useful here. I don't know how I misspoke like that. Whoa.
You know, do you really need the mitts? They're a crutch. Link just needs to go to the gym a little bit more.
I mean, those rocks don't look that much heavier.
And that's another brain down for neatorific, so he'll just be on his way out of the exploding planet of doom. I really don't know if 3 minutes is going to be enough time, so let's have everybody hold your breath and see if you make. Which, I mean, he's going to have a really nice time, just barely missing under 3 hours. That's incredibly fun.
Yeah, if we think back to the seed, I mean, so much of it was just a hunt for mitts, of all things. It probably would have been done a little bit quicker if Ether also wasn't hiding.
Yeah, there were a few trolly items this seed, but you know, still a great time for Metroid.
Oh yeah.
Really showing off why he's the #1 seed in Group A.
He's not going to save the animals. I started saying that before he definitively didn't save the animals.
What a monster.
And that is it. 3 hours, 1 minute, and so let's see what SRL says.
3 hours, 1 minute, and 18 seconds. So get your GGs in chat for neatorific. It's a heck of a time.
And with that, neatorific will move on to game 2 in Group A, which will be against the winner of Error versus Kuchiri. No frustration slashes from Ole over there. Alright, we're gonna see if we can get neatorific in here for an interview.
We have Ole checking out the Dark Maze in I keep wanting to say Dark Desert Palace. It's not Desert Palace. He's in Palace of Darkness. There we go. Still looking for his Ether, which we know was in Hookshot Cave. We've still got about 90,000 frames to go. Looks like Ole is going to go ahead and kill Helmosaur King, which we know has nothing, but could have either.
Alright, so we do have neatorific in here. GG's and congrats.
Thanks.
So how do you feel about your time of 3:01? That's super impressive.
If I had gambled on Link to the Past, this was a jet seat 230 easily, because gravity unlocked nothing at all except the boss kills.
That's true. Gravity was kind of a huge bust. Meridia and Lower Norfair, nothing.
Yeah. So anyone checking pod early would then go check, the rest of the dungeons, and eventually Hookshot came and would find Ether, and with that would just go mode all of Meridia and all of Lower Norfair. Those were not required, but they were in Lower Norfair anyway. So yeah. Kind of trolly, but not too bad.
Not too bad. It's kind of interesting seeing such a late mitts. I'm sure I know I saw when you found the mitts in Hookshot Cave, you just started slashing at that. What was going through your mind then?
Well, if he gambled on Link to the Past, I just lost right there. Because I had full clear all of Super Metroid to find nothing.
Yeah, that's very true. Ole had basically been following your routing pretty closely. There was a couple of differences. He checked Skull before you did, but it was a bust. And he did do left side of Skull. But other than that, he didn't find the bow until way after you, so that took him to pod a lot later.
Oh right, bow wasn't Lower Norfair. Alright, so Lower Norfair had one thing.
That's
but you
true.
didn't need gravity for it anyway. So gravity still unlocked nothing because we had backdoor access. It's flute.
Yeah, it was logical access just because of lava diving, but otherwise, yeah.
So yeah, just wondering where charge was.
Yeah, that's the question of the day. We're thinking TR.
Yeah, I think it either has to be TR or Green Pendant.
It could be behind Ice Armos, but we'll never see that, so.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say never. Okay, no, you're right. Never see that. There's a world in which Ole does Ice Armor.
Well, if you do the Dark Magician route in GT, you will do Ice Armors before Rando Room.
If you do full Dark Magician, yeah, and don't mirror out after you get the second key.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
I've seen it very rarely in A Link to the Past. I think it's highly unlikely that. But then again, Ole knows he's already lost, so some of the times it's just interesting to see, like, oh, where the heck is this item?
You just hit 700,000 frames.
Yeah, while you were away, I said we had about 90,000 frames to go, and he's already gone through 10,000 of those. We'll see if he does the icebreaker.
I need to learn that. But I wasn't in go mode anyways. Although it's still faster than doing the bomb jump, especially since if you missed it a few times like I did.
Although the same in reverse is true. If you miss Icebreaker, it is then slower. So it's probably best to do what you're comfortable with, and your Ice Palace bomb jump wasn't that. You got it like third try, I think?
Something like that, yeah.
Alright, well you were the top seed going into this quartile, which means that your next race is going to be against the winner of tomorrow's match, Error versus Kuchiri. How are you feeling about that?
practice and doing best. I stopped underestimating people based on their seeds in the Link to the Past random tournament. I was seated like not the top, the second top, and I was bounced out of that super fast, like really, really fast. I'm like, okay, the seating doesn't mean all that much.
It definitely might not. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into your SRL seed, which I don't even think LTTPR was using it. So it can mean very little. So still, you definitely are one of the top ranked people. I know that you were the favorite in this match. We had people in chat who were rooting you on in the. So
Usually people like the underdog, but thanks.
I mean, I don't take. I may have been asking to see let's get some left side swamp, have some nice items, but that would have been really mean. I feel bad about that.
Which left side swamp had nothing.
Yeah,
checked it.
It was nothing. I think at this point you have just about everything. The only thing we're missing is charge and I guess high jump boots.
Yep. No high jump boots mean don't even bother doing babies yet.
Yep. Do you find it easier to turn off the suits, or is it just a waste of a menu for baby skip? I've seen some people do it, I've seen some people not.
Well, if you end up re-equipping it, I think it's a waste of time, but if you fight other brain without ever re-equipping them, it's probably faster.
Okay. That's frightening and scary, so good to...
You have to be really careful with your health management with no suits on against other brain.
So this is definitely not your first time playing SMZ3. You are one of the names I see playing quite often. Have you been practicing a lot going up into this tournament?
I've been practicing mostly. I've only been practicing Super Metroid. I just stopped doing exclusively that. I haven't practiced Link to the Past in over a year, so I should try to get familiar with the new tech and brush up old skills. But
yeah,
I'm practicing in certain maneuvers. Like I did a lot of short charge practice.
Yeah, we had some people commenting on some of the tricky short charges. You had a stutter 3-tap, I think, in there somewhere. I think it was in Crockett.
Yeah.
Those are hard, so matters there.
Where were silvers?
Bonk rocks. Yeah, there were some comments about skipping those, but you know, you had everything you needed.
I was following bits hard, so I would have done Terror Rock before Bonk Rocks. Density wise, I should have checked that mountain earlier, but I didn't want to have to climb through all of Turtle Rock and then find out that Ether was not there and have to go back down. But I would have been able to go mode Ice Palace, which would have saved quite a few minutes.
Looks like Ole left an item in Ice Palace. I wasn't counting, but he killed Cold Stir and he's going back in.
I don't remember if he did Ice Tea Room. Or if he just never went up the right side. If he does no Icebreaker, he could have skipped all of the right side and be saving it to just Icebreaker now. But I'm guessing no.
I would think if you know Icebreaker, you do it the first time through because it's quick.
That's unfortunate, but that's okay. He'll find out that it's just like a missile pack or something, and he'll be back into the drawing board.
I'd assume he'll head up to Death Mountain after this to do Hookshot Cave and Super.
Or Meyer.
He can't do that without either witches and hookshot cave.
That's a good point, but like Meyer Shed and stuff, did he do that? He did do that.
I don't
That was a
actually
while
know the answer to that.
Well, after this, he can do that fairy. But he's probably checked everything else. Except Eastern Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, he hasn't done Eastern. Neither of you did Green Pendant. Did that come to mind about something that you could have done?
Well, I almost did it, but I thought, you know, I should be following this hard, not just doing this one-off check, hoping this. I already did the one-off check that didn't pay off in killing Household King. So I said, well, I will have to come back here, but then again, I would waste 2 minutes killing armors with one check. I should just check the rest first, everything that is unlocked by mitts. So
That's
I did
right.
Ice
You had
Palace.
just pulled mitts. Yeah. So following the spheres at that point.
So I thought, okay, Ice Palace, no. Well, maybe Fat Fairy, no. Okay, Death Mountain then. I really don't like doing that. I'm the Smith's Chain. Unless I have no options remaining.
Yeah, Smith Chain takes a lot of time. And it's 2 checks. I guess if you can route it in a little bit better. But like at that point, if you didn't have mitts when you first did Village of Outcasts, then yeah. So
I usually do it when I'm doing all. If I go to Village of Outcasts and have like mitts and hammer and stuff, like yeah, I'll tie in Smith's Chain with my Village of Outcasts checks. But going back to the village just for Smith's Chain is not very attractive.
And the $1 million question, where's Ole going?
where is Ole going?
Checking the shovel spot?
Yeah, I guess you never did check it. Shovel was in
At the
Metroid
beach.
somewhere. Right.
I checked it because, well, maybe the one item in Meridia could be mitts or ether, but no, it wasn't this one back then.
I feel like he's gonna do Smith's Chain next. No? Good talk.
At this point, when you're this far
Oh,
into a
Big
seed.
Bomb. He's gonna do Big Bomb, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. When you're this far into a seed and it's just not playing ball with you, it can be real tough. Big Bomb's a good check. And of course it's nothing, but hopefully he will do what Neatorific did and head up to Dark Death Mountain afterwards. There's like 6 or 7 checks up there if you count Floating Island.
I was scared ether could have been at the Pyramid Ledge, because this is a troll I've had lately, where normally you say, well, I'll check Pyramid at the same time I check the Fat Fairy, but sometimes an item on the ledge is required just to get Fat Fairy, so you have to double the Pyramid and it's awful.
Yeah, that would be bad. Because I was noticing that you were trying to route in most of the Eastern Dark World checks that weren't pod into one big loop. But you did skip Catfish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Catfish was something useless. I remember.
I'm thinking missiles is what you said.
I thought, well, if ether's a catfish, I already lost, so whatever, I'll just follow mitts.
Alright, now where's Ole heading?
I was scared he was going to mirror bonk there.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't get bonked being in that bush.
Alright, Dark Death Mountain, here we go. He's gonna pull up his ether. He's gonna be absolutely relieved, as I'm sure you were, neatorific, that it's not in TR. That was a mistake. Oh.
I don't mind Gomo being in a trolley location in a 1v1 race because I think like if it's in TR, then I'm sure my opponent will be just as troll as I was.
And that's certainly the case here.
If it's in an obvious location, I feel bad because I should have checked that a long time ago.
I think one of the interesting things is that you both have pretty much the same item set. You wound up with a few more heart containers, I think, and I think Ole has a few more energy tanks, but otherwise your item sets are pretty much exactly the same.
Silvers is the big difference between the two.
Yeah, and that's just one check. Just Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, but I had Temper, so I didn't really care. I skipped half magic too. Because, well, if half magic is in my face, I'll pick it up. But if I'm late in the game, I already did all the dungeons that would be, more easily done with half magic. Or if I have cape, for instance, but I skipped cape, so I knew that half magic would be useless to me. Well, it would be useful, but not. It wasn't worth the 15-second detour to get it.
No, it wasn't.
Yep.
Well, Ole's found the secret.
It's interesting that, given that location, the hook shot, you didn't need hook shot to get either, so you could have found either really early.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You could have. Yeah.
Our Dark World access was hammer in the gloves, so you could potentially do pod first and get your mids. Then you would have that access to that chest, yeah. But if you full cleared up the motor and got the boots, that wave, I think.
I mean, you would have had to have gone into pod without bow.
Yeah, but it wasn't bow locked.
It wasn't. That's true. But I still feel like most runners are not going to try and to go all the way out to pod just to find. Here's a bird toss. I feel like most runners are probably not going to go to a pendant pod without bow unless they're really out of options.
No, I agree with you that I think it's the routing that both Nito and Ole made was the sensible route to do.
Oh yeah, every turn you made, you were doing the sensible thing, which is I think why your routes were very similar.
One gamble would have saved 30 minutes. Let's stay in Link to the Past.
I think that's one of the things about SMZ3 is that you get one item and now you have about 6 different directions you can go. So what do you do?
How tempted were you in the beginning to skip the Agena check when you died in the middle of desert?
I was at a loss. I had never ever died doing that check before. I've done it with 3 hearts, green now, no problem, every time. And I'm like, what's happening? I'm getting hit. And I'm dead. I thought, well, whatever. I'm not gonna last located. I always check it for a reason, and the death won't deter me. I never checked what the stun prize was. Was it the heart or something?
I don't think we've seen the stun prize.
That's a good point. We've had so many hearts this seed that it hasn't really come up.
I'm glad I successfully pulled off Spooky. I thought I had messed it up when I took the warp.
Yeah, I had missed that you had set it up. Well, Ole just didn't set it up, so.
As I said, I don't think Ole set it up. I didn't see the dust kick when he landed.
He didn't do it, so if he had set it up, then it's now unset up. There is the backup. You can throw a. I don't think that's the backup. No, it's not. You can throw a Samaria block into the void, which will set the Ancilla value correctly as well, if you want to.
I've been told it only works for this crystal switch he just hit. Like the first room, you still have to hit it normally, and this point you'll be able to do spooky, but you have to aim all the way down to an anti-fairy that's all the way down.
Yes, you do. It's
And
a
I
pain in the neck, and it's a
Yeah.
lot harder than regular spooky. So
So if you have this room, just do regular spooky.
yeah, and I would almost say it's kind of a bad backup because of that.
Only making quick work of Vitreous with the silver arrow shows the difference between even just tempered sword and silver arrow. And that's Ole's 7th crystal.
Yeah, we're
Uh,
gonna not, of course, play the big key guessing game, but I'd imagine he's going straight to Ganon Stack.
I was gonna say people can still guess if they want. It just won't mean anything.
It'll mean exactly as much as it did the first time.
I mean, Ole is fixing to come in with a pretty solid time himself of 1 second. I mean,
I feel bad. I probably should have hidden the timer, but I like it. I don't know.
I've enjoyed having it up. I mean, in all serious though, too. I mean, he's probably gonna finish with 3:30, 3:45, and I mean that's still pretty quick for one of these seasons.
We started pretty close to on time, so yeah. I mean, it's 3:35 right now. He's probably gonna finish. Well, he'll probably finish before it's 4 hours. It'll be tight, but we'll find out. We'll see what SRL says. Here's hoping. I hope he does pull off a sub 4, because that always feels at least mostly good. So I did actually want to ask, thinking back to like 3 hours ago, doing that early gauntlet play, it was technically with one E-tank out of logic until you got the second E-tank at gauntlet missiles. Was that even something that crossed your mind? Or...
I was glad the E-tank was there. I only had a reserve.
Oh,
And
wait. I think it was still technically out until you got that second E-tank. Not gonna.
I wasn't aware there was an E-tank requirement for Gauntlet, just having Can't Fly. Oh yeah, the Can't Fly in this case was speed booster, so you were probably expecting to have an E-tank.
And Ole checking the hope room first, finds that there is no hope, and heads over to the left.
Yeah, it's 1 energy reserve for the energy tank and gauntlet, and it's 2 for the left and right. So it was technically, except for speed booster, of course, being all the way down in. I've forgotten where it is.
It was at Alpha Missiles, though.
Yeah, Alpha Missiles.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think it still could have been that E-tank at Gauntlet Energy Tank is your logical access to Gauntlet left and right, which is really mean. Oh, stun prize is 20 rupees, it looks like.
Yeah, I was just about to call that out.
I was gonna say, farming for Zora would have been easy, but we got 4 300s in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, Ole took some time to farm up rupees in Blind's hut to get to 500, and that had to feel bad finding 600 rupees.
That takes forever.
Yeah, he did that. He did a Houlihan too.
Yeah, so I mean, he actually probably only spent a couple of minutes farming up the rupees.
But it is kind of it's a feels bad moment when you when you spend all that time farming and then immediately get 600 rupees, because he farmed up to Zora 500.
I'm tempted to farm when Zora accesses via the gloves, but when it's flippers, you can go check him anytime you want, really fast. So I feel like farming in that situation is not worth it. I've only ever regretted not opening Holy Hand once, and that was a early Zora seed where there were no rupees in any chests at all. So you had to farm Blind's Hut for like 5 minutes.
Oh no.
But that happened once in over 100 seeds, so I'm pretty confident never opening Holy Hand.
And Ole finds his big key.
Yeah, he did do left side first, so technically he'd never had to worry about the right side.
He didn't get the lag shield.
Yeah, he didn't. That's true. That was in the 4 chests in the back
Oh.
or right side.
As you demonstrated, Riot Shield does not protect you from beam.
You know, that would be the one thing that would make it actually useful, so of course it doesn't do that.
I wonder if that's something the randomizer developers could change.
Well, that would change, you know, some vanilla behavior.
Yeah, I don't think they'd do that. It would change vanilla behavior for very little reason.
I'm just thinking like the Final Fantasy randomizer has a bunch of interesting little things, little additions that have been added that you can play.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
I mean, half the spells in their vanilla game don't work, so they change it to make them work as they should.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually fixed most of the spells. Final Fantasy is kind of a mess.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. I was gonna go for the safety, okay. The Final Fantasy randomizer is probably my second favorite randomizer after this one.
I want to try to get into Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, but it looks really complex.
Free Enterprise is the other randomizer I play. The problem is kind of the same problem that I had with Link to the Past, which is I stopped playing it for a year, and now it's different. And these randomizers get updated so fast, and it's great, but you have to relearn the logic every time. And that's one of the reasons I really like SMZ3, because it's still following the old Link to the Past logic that I kind of remember.
For a while, I weighted dungeons more heavily than overworld checks, so that's why Pod was almost always loaded. And Turtle Rock, and like you were better off just staying in Link to the Past and checking all the dungeons.
I remember that, yeah. That was the last tournament I think had that problem.
That's a lot of lag. Sort of that.
Yeah, it's real tricky to get the 3 silvers out in time with that much lag.
Which is a thing I find kind of interesting. I feel like nowadays if you release a game, like say you released Zelda 3, and it had like using the silver arrows made that much lag, I feel like the internet would just rake you over the coal.
I just want to comment, you both got that Stalfos room, or Wizard room. It's making me jealous.
I guess what I'm saying is back in my day we had to live with lag in games.
You know, it's kind of funny, I don't really remember ever noticing lag when I was a kid in SNES games.
Same actually, when I switched over to PC gaming and I went back to my old console, like replaying Ocarina of Time, like this is a slideshow, holy moly.
Yeah, it is. When you go between Link to the Past and like the Ocarina of Time, it's just like night and day.
Interesting that Ole is not checking the chest for charge beam.
Yeah, I was just noticing that. I mean,
Excellent dodging of that super spike. I definitely remember lag more in Genesis games when I was a kid than Super Nintendo Moldor. You know, we also didn't find this fourth sword. I assume that's probably also in Total Rock.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he checked Waterway too.
Yep, he did check. He checked Waterway before you actually, because when you went to Fantoon, he went down Red Tower.
Ah,
Yeah,
So
that
we-
was really... That really is a big part of what gave you such a big lead. Was you did Fantoon and got Varia, and it took Ole quite a while to get over there to get that Varius.
Before then, you were both basically following in each other's footsteps. In fact, actually, after that initial Agana death, Ole was a little ahead of you.
and
But-
Fantoon did.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't obviously matter in the end, but
I was kind of stunned actually. It was like I've never sucked so bad at Fantoon before. I'm like, do I just forfeit?
oh yeah, I was like, I felt so kind of like vindicated because I was in chat, or I was commenting about how hard Fantoon is.
But then my second attempt, I didn't need those extra 2 tanks I found. I could have beat him with just 1 E-tank. I had like 60 energy left or something if I only had 1 E-tank, so like, wow, that was a lot better.
Fantoon's just a total troll.
That was actually my kind of my bellwether. Like if I was feeling the seed or not. I might have just forfeited. If I had died a second time, I might have just forfeited.
Well, I think everybody's glad you did forfeit, because it's a very entertaining race. Which I'll throw out there one more time for the folks that are still here. Please
He
take
was
a minute
so
to
mean
follow
in
both
phase
of our
2.
run.
He didn't want to give me the space behind the wall.
Noticing that our runner command also includes your rank 1 profile if you have one. Rank 1 is the sponsor of this event. It is a site which is meant to kind of unify all of the social aspects of our gaming profiles. Check it out at rank1.global.
Man, I don't
That's
remember
a
this
lot
many
of words.
teleport.
What happened?
Cannon, please.
He's getting the Andy treatment.
That was 50,000 frames right there.
I think Andy got like 38 teleports in a row once.
Like at some point you just put the controller down and go get like a drink.
At that point, you just go to the convenience store and buy a lotto ticket.
I feel like there's a 30 warps emote somewhere. He's gonna emit torch glitch, but he's got silvers, so probably not a big.
When you got silvers, you don't really want torch glitch because you can easily set up a triple with fire.
Almost, he almost said it. Oh, giving us more heart attacks. Speaking of heart attacks, hey, let's talk about X.
Oh right,
Yeah, please don't
I
give
had
me.
variants, so like 15. I went in with like 60 something, so I could take 4 hits. But I got 4 is coming enough, and I was down to 1, I think, when I got out.
You were at 23 energy before you farmed up a bit from the fireflies, and
Yeah.
I was scared. Eleanor wasn't scared. Eleanor was not scared at all. But I
I'm
was
pretty sure I was scared. There was quite a few times in the early game when I was scared for both runners.
It did force a pretty low E-tank Neptune fight, all things considered. Because were there any other E-tanks we could easily get? Well, just get it all before having to go to wrecked ship.
Not really, no. I can't think of any.
Yeah, I can't think of any either.
I think Ole did do a 4 E-Tank Fantoon. But he also made some link to the past checks that you didn't make. So I think it may have been one of them.
Well,
Did he?
Yeah.
He never
There were
did
two E-tanks,
Terminator.
I think there were 2 E-tanks in Paradox Cave.
No, he must have not when he did Gauntlet. He must not have checked Terminator.
Or he checked it and didn't grab it.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, you wouldn't grab 20 rupees. Not worth the fanfare.
Well, I forgot Terminator. I'm going to assume, therefore, without looking at the SRL room, that yes, Ole. Okay, well, that's a spoiler. It's not much of a spoiler. All right, so let's watch Ole's Metroid rooms here.
Metroid's enemies that cheat because you can't screw attack.
You can, it just bounces them away, which is not what you want.
It half works because you take no damage. But you try to screw attack Mother Brain, and you do take damage anyway.
I never had the idea to screw attack Mother Brain.
Doesn't
So
work.
never occurred to me.
Other fun things that you can't do is spark into Mother Brain. Don't do that.
That's one hell of a short charge.
I'm actually not sure how you would spark into Mother Brain now that I think about it, but someone was mentioning in another race that if you do it, you die.
Alright, because you don't get any iframes and she does like 1 billion damage per second.
Yeah, I assume with maybe like the practice ROM or something, you can set your state to having like a blue suit or something. Or I guess you.
That's what it was. It was the crowd control race that was on SpeedGaming last week.
Oh yeah, there's definitely still. I know there's still some bugs. I know at one point somebody got gifted plasma and spacer and immediately crashed.
Yeah, he got space-time beam. You can fire that beam in one direction, but not the other.
For a minute, I thought Ole was just gonna keep going, and I was like, no, don't do it.
I mean, you
Heal
can.
up.
I believe it is technically faster to Crystal Spark if you have the ammo.
Unfortunately, the baby doesn't drain your reserve tanks.
Good point. So you have to drain your own reserves. And there's a discussion about that during the crowd control race. So Ole is wisely not going to waste any supers.
Actually, it's better to use supers. Because he's gonna use 5 on the door instead of 1 super. And a super does 300 to Mother Brain and 5 Mega Missiles do 500.
Also takes the save.
You saying that regular missiles do no, they do less.
They do 100.
Because a super is the same as 5 missiles on the red door. But 5 missiles is 500 damage, and a super is 300 damage. So if you want to maximize your damage output against Mother Brain, then you won't regular missile the Zebs, the red doors, you will just super them.
So it's worth pointing out that if you are attempting to do the Zeb skip, which Ole is not, it's very hard to do with screw attack.
Yeah, you gotta do it down back.
Yeah.
So you'll see many runners will just turn screw attack off, but if you're trying to do it and you're like, why isn't this working? Try turning screw attack.
Or there's a Zeb skip that I tried but missed. I got the charge, I just didn't duck in time.
I think the speed zeb skip does work if you're a really good short charger.
It is technically faster to do it down back. But you have to nail it on your first try. Well,
And I think that's kind of the problem in a race like this. Like, oh, we got a French fry. Someone was mentioning that there were no French fries earlier. We got a single French fry to go with our ketchup bean.
Well, the brain looks like a cross between a T-Rex and a chicken. Tiny hands and huge chicken feet.
She has a very interesting model.
Yeah, I did see you setting up for a stand-up, and I was like, It's okay. At the end of like almost 4 hours.
Metroid, go back. She's away. Every time I hope the outcome's different. Never is.
Every time you're like, are all the Metroids dead now? Oh no, the Federation had another reserve somewhere.
Yeah, because they built biologic space labs, and there's like a whole bunch of Metroids there. But if you did play through Samus Returns, you know that the Chozo created the Metroids. So. Oh, that's a huge spoiler, but that game came out a while ago.
Was it to come back to the X-Parasite?
Yep. Metroids were a super weapon devised to defeat the X-Parasite, so... Cool.
I didn't really like Fusion. So that's why I never rescue the animals. That way I make Fusion non-canon.
You also make other M non-canon, so that's good.
Yeah. Other what? Never heard
Yeah,
of it.
I don't know. Some game that some people were trying to tell me exists. So actually, I think at this point we are pretty close to being able to guess the frame counter that Ole is going to end up on. So I will open that door. I'm gonna say, quick math, 846,238.
I think it's going to be a little bit higher than that. I'm going to say 148.
Yeah, you're very right. Because we're about to hit 6 right now. That's unfortunate.
I mean, to be fair, our estimate was, 760, so...
766, I think, was what we had said. So I know that the frame counter window is something that you're supposed to have on for recorded runs, and I'm assuming that's why it was on. I'm asking questions, Ole's not even here. We'll ask it again later.
Personally, it's just to me, if my computer starts lagging or something, I'll know.
That's true.
I honestly just kind of assumed he turned it on and couldn't figure out how to turn it off, because that's what I would do.
Well, that's RetroArch. RetroArch can be very annoying like that. Alright, no animal saves. No Metroid fusion for Ole either. Alright, everyone. Get your GGs in chat for Ole finishing with an official SRL time of 3 hours, 48 minutes, 35 seconds.
That's a really solid run, Ole. I mean, that is a time that is excellent. So definitely
Yeah,
should.
Sub 4 is good. It's a very good benchmark to shoot for, so.
All right, well, I feel like we should wrap this up since it's 3 in the morning. Is there anything you want to say to everybody, neatorific, before we head out for the night?
Thanks for all the hard work behind the scene and in front of the scene. Thanks to the comms and the trackers and the restreamers.
Yeah, definitely want to shout out Iker for backing us up on the tracking there and keeping track of several of the checks that Eleanor and I totally. Thank you, neatorific and Ole, for running with us, or running for us.
I was gonna say, I've been sitting on my couch. Was I supposed to be running? Instructions unclear.
Not at 3 a.m. So I know it's super late, and it might feel like there can't possibly be anything else going on the SpeedGaming network right now, but you'd be wrong. We've got 2 SMZ3 matches going on. You may go over to twitch.tv/speedgaming for Thornetto vs. Ivan, or you can go to SpeedGaming 2 for Asder vs. Robin. And those are both going to be going on throughout the rest of the night. I don't think it's also remiss to mention that Corona Relief is going on right now at GDQ. That's going to be going on this whole weekend. And there's going to be a ton of action tomorrow on the SpeedGaming network. I don't even know where to start. You've got like 10 SMZ3 tourney rounds. You've got Super Metroid multi-category, ALTTPR League, Mario Kart 64 starting at 11 a.m. So keep your eye on the schedule, and there's going to be plenty of speedruns in the future.
All right, and I'm going to sign off for the night. So thanks everybody for listening and following our runners and all that good stuff. And I hope everybody has a good start to their